Cena!
His name is Peacemaker?
That's a lot of alerts I just got. Yeah, all right.
Dun, dun, dun. We're live, by the way. Yeah. We're here.
Oh, right.
Hey!
I'm supposed to host this show.
This is
That's
you.
Right.
Holy shit.
That's the thing. Welcome to another Geeks with Kids with your host this week, me, David. We got Brent, which is probably gonna wait. Let me check. Oh, I'm right. Brent, Steve, Marcus, and Eric.
Hola.
How's it going, everybody?
Yeah.
I am
Hello.
fucking exhausted.
Yeah, you are.
Fucking.
Does your wife know you're fucking this person named Exhausted? Or
Yeah, every night. What?
oh.
Or
No
day.
wonder you're so tired all the time. You're fucking.
This episode took a turn.
Ooh.
Oh.
I wants it. I wants the Scott Pilgrim 4K. Yes.
It
Someone's not
is.
sleeping tonight.
Wasn't that was an option for this week? Was the 11th anniversary of Scott Pilgrim?
Yep. Well, I may be in contact with some people from that movie. We'll see if they can come on.
Did you
Right
buy the thing? The what is that website called? The Retro Collector?
Yeah,
What is it called?
the limited run. I did, but it's just in production now.
Right. Yeah.
So
it takes a while.
I'm waiting for it to come to my house.
Yeah, they take pre-orders, then they yeah.
So the
That's cool
pre-orders
site.
ended
Check
in April. But yeah, limitedrun.com.
Well, there's a shipping apocalypse happening right now. So.
Yeah, that's true. Also,
On.
This is
All
depressing.
right, speaking of moving on, what's good? You know what we do here. We talk about the things we love because we love it and we hope you love it, and it makes everybody feel good. So let's start with Marcus. What's good, Marcus?
Not much. And not to say that there's
Dare you
nothing
after
good.
I say something so positive?
I know. Not that there isn't anything good. It's just that I haven't actually been doing anything of note or interest. I haven't really done anything different. Still watching The Bad Batch. That's pretty much it.
finale this week.
I know. I am very excited. I can't wait. I didn't realize it was so close. Like, it just kind of like popped up really fast, and suddenly we're like, oh, we're at the end of this first season. But I like that they prefaced everything with saying, second season is coming. There is a second season. Second season's in production. I'm like, well, obviously, it better be. But otherwise, yeah, nothing really too big of note, except something that isn't so good that's kind of bothered me. And I hate to bring it to a negative turn, but somebody will bring it back into a positive.
Bad.
I'm sure.
Okay, we're trying something new.
It's not what's bad.
This
It's
is
just
my
what.
kind of segment.
Steve, you're gonna love it. No. So I got royally boned by Amazon today. They canceled 2 of my pre-orders. That so one was the rifle, the Mandalorian rifle. That's been canceled. And
wow.
I ordered that February 10th, I think, or February 8th or something like that.
I remember when that came up actually in an episode, and we were talking about it. So
and so it got delayed for a second, and then all of a sudden they canceled it. And same with the Eye of Agamotto that I pre-ordered.
Oh, no.
And this is what pisses me off. It's not the fact that they can't fulfill the orders and stuff like that. Like, if I had ordered it and they're just like, sorry, we don't have any, that's fine. But this was a pre-order from months ago. Especially the fucking rifle was from fucking February. If you don't have access to the product, or if you're not going to get it, don't fucking offer it as a pre-order. Don't get my hopes up, because I had other opportunities that I could have pre-ordered for those exact items. But I said, oh, no, I'm good. I have it pre-ordered. I'm waiting on it. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, we were talking about the Eye of Agamotto for like days before it came, like the pre-order came out. So we were all pricing it out, remember? And you're like, it's cheapest here. Sure.
Yeah, and I'm just really pissed that they even do that. Like, I guarantee you, I was not the first, but I was definitely not the last person to pre-order those items. So they had been taking tons of pre-orders, and I can't even imagine how many other people must have been canceled on already. It just really pisses me off. And it's not like I won't be able to get these items at some point. It's just the fact that I am a toy geek and I want things the day they come out. So
it's also weird if you're taking pre-orders, especially for items like that. It gives them a sense of how many they need to buy. That's why pre-orders started, right? Is we want to know how many of these we should make.
Yeah.
And it's not like it was an unlimited amount, right? They cut it off after a certain amount. So they thought they were going to get this much. But it's just like, I guess we're not doing this anymore? That's so weird.
So if you drop a pre-order, you think, well, that should pretty much guarantee you a product. Especially not something it's not like it's a car, right? It's not a huge piece of machinery, right?
This brings us to that whole Seinfeld episode where he reserves a car and they're like, sorry, the car you reserved isn't here. He's like, but I reserved it.
Listen, I know you live in this city, but we got to ship it 3 cities over for processing first.
Well, that's what it is. It's like they just opened the Mount Hope facility. They're still working on it, but when I live like right there, so I'm thinking, oh great, I ordered something. It's going to be here within an hour, but everything is still shipping to there, so we still have to wait. It's still a baby facility.
Baby.
So yeah, that's my start for the day, guys. Let's do this.
Well, Brent, what's
No beef with Amazon, that's for sure.
A little beef.
Not much going. Yeah, no, not really.
He is a rogue agent.
Marcus has been removed from the show and will be removed.
Who is
from
this Marcus?
His life
Marcus
shortly.
Marcus is no longer here.
Prejudice.
Is that from Three Ninjas?
No, this is from Big Hero 6.
Okay.
I still haven't finished it. I still got to do lenses, and I got to do a little bit more on the paint job. But
I think that because I've seen Three Ninjas 30 times, but Big Hero 6.
Dude,
Yeah, see that was the thing I was going to
Three
comment on.
Ninjas.
Of all things that you would relate that to, you would go to Three Ninjas first.
That's a movie I grew up watching.
Amazing.
Now,
amazing.
were you thinking Rocky or Colt?
I can't believe you remember those names.
Probably.
Right.
Yeah.
And it was
No,
Tum
it's
Tum.
Colt, Rocky, Tum Tum.
Tum Tum, yes.
Tum Tum.
Tum Tum.
Yeah.
Because I'm Tum Tum. Because I'm the
fucking
youngest of
old.
3 brothers, right?
Well,
so I'm Tum Tum.
I'm just thinking that like this design I feel like is mostly close to Rocky. I think it was Rocky's, or I can't remember. You know what?
I think you're right. The middle child, because the old whatever, it doesn't matter.
No, it does.
Brent was in the middle of a sentence and we just shut him down.
Three Ninjas took precedent. Sorry, Brent, go.
That's Marcus takes down Amazon. Apparently, I took down Twitch.
I don't know why my computer just disconnected like from the Ethernet. It was so weird.
Yeah, it happens. Other than that, no, not much going on. Just getting back into like the Metroidvania craze again. Polished off Ender Lilies a couple days ago for platinum number 108 for me.
Wow.
Restarted Blue Fire so I can get that platinum done, and then very excited for 2 days from now when Hades finally comes out on PlayStation, so I can platinum that as well.
Nice.
Oh, I was gonna say there is
Very
a
cool.
Metroidvania Humble Bundle on right now. Actually.
Yep, yeah. I posted it on our Discord.
Yeah,
The
posted
sale.
it twice.
Did I?
Yeah,
Maybe
posted
I put in the wrong one.
actually.
I was like,
yeah, deals and shit, and also. So
Yeah.
there's
Check it
gonna
out.
be-
I saw it many times.
Yeah.
At this point, I'm not sure that there's many Metroidvania games out there available to buy that I don't already own.
but these are on
might be-
PC, so you should get them.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is I'm just still currently working off a laptop right now, so PC gaming is kind of
That's the perfect
that's
place
non-existent for me.
I mean, I'm pretty sure your
No,
computer can
it's
run
not
an
fun.
8-bit game.
Well, yes. But I want it to run Grime. I really want that game right now. I'm desperately waiting for that to come out for consoles.
As I look up Grime, Grime.
Grime?
Just came out a couple days ago. New Metroidvania with like a very kind of bizarre noir art style.
Oh, I know him as
Ooh.
Grimesy. That's why.
I don't think that's a thing.
Grimesy, as it was like to be called by his friends.
Good old Grimesy. Oh yeah.
I'm Homer Simpson, and I don't need safety equipment because.
Oh.
There's like 3 people out there who are like, "Wow, I get that Simpsons reference."
Here lies
Great."
Frank Grimy Grimes.
Let me tell you about my marriage and how Megan gets none of the Simpsons quotes I do because she never watched it.
Carissa gets none of my quotes. I quote movies and TV shows constantly.
Yep.
And she just looks at me like, "What's that from?" I'm like,
Yeah. This is how we communicate.
Yeah.
This memes. We've been speaking in memes since we were children.
See, like Chris at least asked you what's that from. Megan goes to me, she's like, "That's from a movie, isn't it?" Or something.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Yeah." She's like,
Yep.
"Okay." And walks away. I'm like, "God damn it, I failed in my marriage."
Carissa can quote Star Trek better to me though. She's better at Star Trek than I am. So,
Lower
lose
Decks
some
comes out on
places.
Thursday.
I know.
It's good.
Haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah, me neither.
he's good. Anyway,
All right, Steve. We've heard what's bad. We've heard what's bad.
and sort of
Everything's
good.
okay.
We've shut down 2 companies.
I have a
If anyone-
semi-bad, but I
Semi
you
bad
know,
girth,
Unless they
but
get
not
eBay.
length.
almost every week since COVID started, I've been talking about how I was all into 40K and everything, and I was loving it. And yeah, there's a little bit of a kerfuffle going on right now because they decided to launch a streaming network, which I think is a bit of a weird idea.
But you get but you get a little miniature with it.
It's not a little miniature; it's a really big
one.
A
big one,
yeah.
Sorry, a big one.
Really
Let me
nice.
understand it. You subscribe to a digital service.
No. I didn't subscribe. Yeah. No. Yeah. I haven't done it, but yes, that's art. Well, that's the only way they could even possibly make it work, right? Like, I don't think they could even have enough content to justify it unless they include this exclusive miniature, right? Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is, in the process of them trying to, I guess, build walls around the content that they're going to have, they've been hiring all these freelance guys who've been making fan animation over the last few years, which has kind of brought 40K to a golden age of just enjoyment for everybody. And now they're being kind of dicks about copyright, and I guess anyone who doesn't join them, or okay, let me put it this way: it's a little unclear, and I should just say a corporation should be very clear about these things. So right now, everybody's a little bit kind of like, we're not sure whether we're going to survive this, or are the commentary networks going to go down? Nobody knows, right? And it's actually put such a damper on things that everybody's just kind of like, like, we don't really know whether we should be upset, but we're all a little bit depressed. So that's the kind of like, not so great thing. In terms of good stuff, I because of Eric here, I've spent hundreds of dollars on headphones and keyboards this last week.
But I told you only certain ones.
Yeah, I don't listen to those things. I
only heard the first half. I consider you scum next to crust.
I found a bunch of things on Kijiji and went crazy. So I've got a nice little selection of things I'm going to clean up and have fun with. So that's kind of cool. And and Amazon's been treating me really well. So hail Amazon.
Hey Steve,
I'm done.
Wow, our signal got way better. Look at our bit rate.
How many keycaps do you now own?
Does that include on keyboards or just keycaps?
Well, yeah, why not include it on? You get into the rabbit hole of different keycaps?
Yes.
I
think I have 5 keyboards now, and I've got at least two additional keycaps that are unnecessary. So,
only 2? That's not bad.
No, 6. So anyway, moving on.
Keycaps are fun. You get the PB. You get the good pudding ones.
No, I got one pudding set.
They're great.
Like
these ones? Pudding set, and I got 4 razor sets.
Like these ones? Or
PBT injected.
Yeah, and they have the nice little glow on the bottom. There's some clear ones. You join Drop, formerly known as Mass Drop, and they have like limited edition keycaps and
see, I don't need to know that because I ended up with at least 2 Mass Drop headphones over the last couple of weeks, so I don't need to know they also do keycaps.
They're like Loot Crate for
No, this is like a not really a crowdfunding thing, but it's sort of like a crowdfunding thing. It's I'll send you a link. It's a wonderful place to lose money. Not lose money, but drop money.
I'm not gonna do it anyway because I like my keyboard.
You've cost me enough money this week, Eric. I don't need to know anything else from you.
Mechanical keyboards are my mechanical keyboard was $40. Remember?
Yeah, you bought the same as me, right?
The Red Dragon, but I got the white one.
Love it. Yeah. It's great. I could probably kill somebody with this thing and it would keep working.
Yeah,
it's so robust.
So heavy. It's nice. Like here, let me.
Not that I have.
There, look at this fucker. It's so nice.
Yeah, Eric's got a white one. Also, Eric has a clean desk. I'm not tilting my camera down.
I have 2 desks. That's the messy one.
Like, why is that PS4 controller so dusty? It's just dusty with the rest of the dust on the desk. That's why.
That would be the Xbox controller.
I don't sneeze.
Weird. All right, me?
Well, yeah. What's good, Eric?
Fucking nothing.
Cool keyboard.
Yeah, my keyboard's awesome. I ordered a new monitor that's coming. Hopefully, I don't know. Cool. I ordered it, and Amazon's just like, okay, I guess you ordered it. I'm like, but Prime said it was gonna come in a couple days, but it's not shipped yet. So that's interesting. My monitor, my current one, my 144 hertz monitor, my 1080p one, is starting to get these horizontal lines when I turn it on. So I assume it's dying, which is a fair assumption.
How old is it now?
It's like 4 years old.
That's young.
It's stupid
monitor,
young.
My one monitor is probably 10 years old.
I haven't.
It was 10 years old when I got it. Probably it's great. It's a 1080p. Actually, it's not 1080p. It's
1440p.
or whatever. Yeah, no, it's some weird. I use 16 by 10.
Yeah.
Because I'm weird, and it's great.
Yeah.
Got it from my ex. Traded her a laptop for it.
I have a Dell monitor that's been like 7 years, an LG one that's like 8 years, another LG which is 2 years. That's my 4K one that I do video on. That one's fine, but this MSI one that's 1080p is dying, so that's not happy. But because I've been stressed and so fucking like depressed the past couple days or weeks or something, Megan today, because I was sad, we went to Toys R Us yesterday and I saw Neutrino wand from Ghostbusters.
Yeah,
I was like, I can't spend $130 on that.
So she spent it.
So she spent it today when she went back to pick up something. So,
oh my god!
So I've not opened this, but it's right here.
Oh my god!
Wow.
Eric, what the hell? That's so good. That is a very what's good.
Yeah. So
that trumps all the what's bad so far.
So like, look.
I want it so bad. Have you seen? Okay, hold on, Eric. Have you watched any videos about this yet?
Nope. Is it my God. Is it from the old movies or the new one? I assume it's the new one or the old one.
You know what? I actually don't know, but the sounds and the light up features are very reminiscent, if not similar, to the original sounding. Whatever.
I'm pretty sure everything in the new movie is just based on the stuff in the old movie, since it's literally the stuff from the first two movies.
But
it's more of a fact that they're skipping the other ones, so that's
the different universe.
Yeah, totally different. Yeah, that's a what if.
Can we just vote right now that Eric just take like the headset off and just you're done with the podcast for the day, and you can just play with that in the background for the next hour?
Just like,
that's not bad.
I would be so happy to see you just running around back there shooting the wall.
I would put the Captain America thing on my arm. I put a Stormtrooper helmet on my head. I just run around with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do it. We'll just
zombie battle.
Just take the sound off and just have you running around, and our viewership will go up.
We keep the sound on. That's how you get the viewership.
Then we get a copyright strike because we're making noise.
Well, thanks, guys. It's been a good week. Just watching Eric now.
Oh, I forgot to ask Steve. Did that 40K thing start yet? The streaming service?
No,
they don't have any content yet, do they?
I don't know.
No. So what's been happening is because of like animators like that Astartes one that made.
That's all I know about 40K from that.
It's just there's just been a lot of amazing work, and I know like from 10 years ago they used to be real dicks about copyright. Like they were like destroying all kinds of fan work. So it's been a really good time the last few years because there's just so many like talented people like putting stuff together, just fun stuff and lore stuff and so on and so forth. So then what they started to do is they went out and they started hiring all these guys who've been making the really good stuff. So everyone was like, oh, this is great. Like they're actually going to get funding and they're going to get some official stuff out there. And so I know they were developing some cartoons, and I know like the guy who did Hell's Reach and the guy who did Astartes are now officially making shows for them. But it's only when they started cracking down on everyone who didn't join them that now we're like not sure what's happening. So anyway, I don't want to say the wrong news. All I know is a lot of stuff is in the air, and it's put like a grim.
It's in space. 40K's in space.
Yeah, boy. Anyway, so everybody in the community is a little bit on edge right now.
But speaking of news, that's a great segue to our next section.
Fuck yourself! I get it. What's good?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I forgot you didn't even go. What is good? What is good?
Man, I'm like so hyped. I got like all these great things that have been going on. I got my fucking Legend of Vox Machina stuff that came in. I'm so excited about. I started running again. I've been out. I've done 3 runs so far. Yeah, man. I'm gonna start getting back in shape and walking plenty. I started with those hikes and I started running. That's what's good. Back from Blood Beta was great.
Yeah, it still doesn't top.
Is that beta done?
No.
Yeah, I finished today. I'm actually going to get into it in the news.
Son of a bitch! I only got to play for like 15 minutes.
Don't worry. In news, there's good news for you.
There's
bad news, and then there's good news.
Good news.
Oh, I don't get it. Oh,
I don't know, man. That Ghostbusters thing, that just kind of that.
Not for
that's
me.
the peak.
Not for me.
That's the
I
peak.
love running. I finally, after 2 years of not running, I'm back to running. It feels great.
Look at all these random. Look at all these
But if
random
all of us
cogs and
voted,
shit.
we would say running and then the Ghostbusters, right?
Yeah,
I
this
think
is
we all
not.
agree,
This
correct,
is not
guys?
what's good for you. It's what's good for me. Okay?
No, I think it's just what's
I'm not
going to
drink your depresso
What?
bean
If
juice.
it-
Okay.
What is
If
this
it
shit?
helps,
Press
if it
up
helps,
bean juice.
uh,
It's a patented formula when it's Steve bean juice.
Dave, I've also just started running again after a very long time,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I will give you the it is fucking awesome and good for you, man.
Yeah.
Because honestly, I know how hard it is to just get back into doing any sort of thing like that
I
whatsoever.
understand because I started biking again. Fuck yes.
What is
Nice.
going on here? Yeah.
Now it's a what's
Get working. Yeah. Get your
Oh
energy back
god.
up. It's great.
Oh god. Oh god.
I used to in 2019. I ran 2 10Ks, and I've never done those
Wow.
before. And then I
Yeah.
didn't run at all because they all got canceled in 2020. And I can barely do 2.5K right now. And I'm telling my friends like this sucks because like I'm so much worse off. I mean I've gained like 50, 60 pounds since then. Not to mention my cardio's in the in the shitter. My friends are like I couldn't do that now. I'm like I don't compare myself to anybody else. These are my time. Like this is terrible for me. Right? I want to get back to being able to do that 10K run. It's
Eric
great.
stopped paying attention
Right
a
on.
long time ago.
What?
He's got more important things to do.
He's reading
I'm
his
paying
instructions.
Yeah.
Eric, you know you
with
can
you,
get
Dave.
on
I
your
need-
bike and read those instructions, right?
That's true. I
I'm
want
gonna
to.
get
I
back
want to
into
get a
that, too.
stationary thing for my bike. I would love that. Just put it in
Oh,
my
you
garage.
rode a bicycle.
I'm riding a bike. Yeah.
Oh, my bicycle is so fucking broken.
My helmet does not fit my fat head after gaining all this weight from COVID.
I
So-
don't think that's how
No, my face
weight gain works.
my face is grown.
The
Has
helmet
gone
should
that way.
only come to here, Eric.
No,
That's a
no.
that's a super villain
No,
problem.
my-
You
Eric.
wearing a fucking motorcycle
Did you-
helmet out there?
Did you take
Yeah.
some gamma radiation or something?
My head is fucking giant now.
Eric's like Bugs Bunny, and his head's getting bigger, like blowing
It's
out
true.
his thumb.
This is why I keep running into
Like-
walls.
It's like
He's
the
wearing one of
leader.
those old like American Gladiator helmets.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh my god, I would love
Like the
that.
top with the full roll cage
Contenders
around it.
ready, gladiators ready. Fit this helmet on Eric's head.
Not working. Not gonna happen. Gain the weight. Head big.
That's not
That's not a.
That's how it works.
fat head. Eric's
I got-
a fat
I
head.
gotta-
I
gotta
feel
find
you though,
out.
Dave, because I keep getting this is around the time of year where I'm getting all of the reminders on Facebook of, 9 years ago, like all the, like, hey, I just ran my first 10K. Like, hey, I just lost 50 pounds. Hey, I just did this. And now I'm sitting here looking at myself going, it's that guy. I'd like him back.
Yeah. Right.
I think it's about time to get him back.
You can do
Now's
it,
the
man.
time.
Facebook had like a routine from like one of the shows where it was just like all choreo. I'm just like, fuck, I can't do that anymore. There's no way.
I also keep getting the reminders around now too about like the Low Lifes run from HTI, which I'm like, oh, that was such a wonderful time. And then our Low Lifes run the Fringe Festival. And I had to blow my brains out during that one.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I hated our Fringe Fest run of that show.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Listen,
I
I
wanted
don't
nothing
remember
to
a
do
lot.
with it.
I was
I hated it.
19.
It was bad.
18? 19. And not working and playing a lot of video games.
And a lot of magic.
We did, yeah. Joe and I played Magic. Yeah. Now I'm back to playing Magic. But working out is more important, kids.
Yes.
Because a lot of kids watch
Magic?
this show.
As long as you
Yeah,
don't get
so-
kicked out of a bar, Dave, it's fine.
All right. Don't
What?
remind me. All right.
Did you
Let's
get
move
kicked
on
out
to
of
the
a bar?
news. It's
Did you
time
get
for
kicked out
news.
of a bar back then? Do I not remember this?
Yeah, you.
Yeah,
kicked
your
me
bar.
out, right? Your bar.
I remember.
Oh, I
kicking you
remember.
guys-
I
kicked you-
remember. I don't want to talk about
I don't remember you. I remember kicking Joe out.
Yeah, it was just
Those-
Joe. It was just
those-
Joe,
those
Dave.
Magic
No, it
vagrants.
wasn't. Okay, yeah, whatever. Hey, so who wants to hear the bad news first?
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, I'm
Sure.
here for the bad news. Let's
Oh, baby.
do this.
Oh, baby. Though things are looking worse and worse for Blizzard,
Fucking hell.
right?
Yeah.
Don't give a
Think-
shit.
Not only are their suit that was levied against them from the state of California has prompted a suit from at least one investor because the brand's reputation has become irreparably damaged due to that lawsuit.
I have not
Yeah.
opened my Blizzard
So-
launcher since.
Yeah, I
So-
uninstalled all my
I
Blizzard
can't even remember
games,
the
so I
last
just don't
time,
wanna- it makes me physically ill to touch Blizzard stuff now.
Yeah.
I haven't played a Blizzard game since StarCraft 2 first came out.
That was 10 years ago.
I
by the way.
played like religiously for 2 years. Haven't touched Blizzard since.
Yeah, I know some people are saying, hey, play Blizzard games or still buy their products because it's important for the devs who work there for their morale. Except as we understand it, the devs really aren't doing a lot of work because they're doing a lot of walkouts. And yeah, those people don't deserve to suffer. But at the same time, if you don't feel comfortable supporting a company that clearly has a very toxic environment, then, follow your heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the second thing was more brands are pulling their sponsorships from Overwatch League and I guess Call of Duty League as well, like left and right.
Which is funny because
T-Mobile was like the first to go.
Is Call of Duty still on there?
Activision.
It's Activision indirectly.
Right? It's not indirectly, it's Activision. Like, that's Activision Blizzard. It's one company. So, yeah, things do not look great for Blizzard. When an investor starts suing you, or your executives, that's not good for the company.
Yeah, it's like all the business happening at Disney right now.
I don't have any news about that because I didn't look it up.
So I know this. This is stuff that everyone has known for such a long time. But Screen Rant did a big article today about how the creators of all these
the
comic book characters are only getting paid $5,000, so they don't get royalties for the movies. So like Ed Brubaker didn't get anything from the Winter Soldier stuff, even though he created the character. He got $5,000. And an invite to the premiere, which hopefully he didn't have to pay for the plane flight.
Oh, he for sure.
He for sure did.
Yourself, I'm sure. Yeah.
But yeah. So people are upset about that.
Stan's autograph.
Did he? I don't know. But it's like piling on top of like. Then there's the Black Widow suit.
Widow stuff.
And then there's also I think Emma Stone's also gonna file a lawsuit against.
She's on it too. Yeah.
Crazy.
I think the Black Widow thing is more business as usual, though, because I think when Disney just went, listen, we're going to have to do this, and then you're just going to have to sue us.
Yeah.
That's the way it's going to work. And then they'll just reach a settlement out of court, right? They'll just reach a settlement, and then they'll pay her what they both parties will think is fair, because obviously they both lost money for it not being released just in theaters because it's a fucking pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
They had no choice. They had to release it. Like it had to come out eventually, or else
it was so late already.
They delayed it for so long. Yeah, like it just kind of shit happens. You just kind of had to go with it. But also, like I just feel like there's the pandemic side of it and like all that kind of shit happening. But maybe it just didn't do as well because people just weren't that jazzed about going to see it. Like I know there was a huge crowd of people that were like, I can't wait to see this movie. But maybe there was a lot of people that just said, fuck it, I don't care. I'll see it when I see it. Like maybe because it's one of those movies where I feel like I heard so much about it for so long that to me the buzz died down. I didn't care about seeing it. When it came out, I still went to go see it because I wanted to see it. But like
I was in that boat big time where it's like I had no interest in the movie whatsoever other than the fact that it's another Marvel movie. I have to watch it for continuity.
Yeah,
but as a standalone movie, I had really not a lot of interest in it.
And
that makes sense. I still liked it.
Even with the what's it called, the Cruella movie with Emma Stone, like if it's doing poorly, it could be that it is just a movie that not a lot of people are loving. Like I'm not sure. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet.
Who doesn't love movies about people who want to skin puppies?
Well, that's
not
the
origin. The origin.
Before she tried to skin the puppies, she was.
Yeah. But like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I just feel like they have expectations of this is how it has to be, but like maybe it doesn't because
that's a contract though, right? They signed a contract saying this is what's going to happen.
And I understand that's why they're suing. They're suing because like that. But like, I just feel like it's kind of. I'm not going to say that it's unjustified on their legal terms, but it seems kind of unjustified because, like, if you make a shit movie or if you make a movie that nobody goes to see, you don't make the money from it. Whether it's because the marketing went wrong, whether it's because people didn't like that actor at the time, I don't know. Like, there's many different reasons why a movie might not perform well. But, like, if we start getting to a point where they're like, well, you promised me an extra $100,000 on this movie and I'm suing you for that, it's like, really? Maybe it's just your movie sucked.
I'm not sure that's exactly the situation. It's not really about what money is owed, and it
was about how the funding was coming in.
Yeah, I think we should be careful about focusing on whether or not the movies were good or bad, because that to me feels like a corporate counter argument and not a real one.
If
I
Cruella
would be
came
very
out
cautious
and
about it.
bombed, she wouldn't be suing. If Cruella came out only in theaters and bombed, she wouldn't be suing because it would have fulfilled their contract regardless, right?
Yeah,
The
yeah.
movie didn't have to make any money to fulfill the contract.
Yeah, yeah.
They're suing because
I know
they
it's
breached the contract.
exactly. Like, yeah, I know. I mean, so it does sort of seem litigious for the purpose of profit, but I don't know that that's really the whole story. Also,
Yeah.
I mean, one
I
of the
think
movies
it's
we're going to be talking about
yeah.
tonight also is technically a flop, and then who can we blame for that, right? So I don't know. Like, you're right.
I think it's mostly
When
the
a movie-
precedent, right? Like
It's
yeah, it's a
also the
precedent,
fact
it's a
that they
precedent.
could have released the movie in theaters one day and then digitally the next day, and they would have been fine. But
yeah,
they decided to
things
release
were
them
sloppy.
same day.
Things were weird. Like this
They
is
could
this
have
is
avoided a lawsuit. So maybe
Yeah.
it's just that. Well, listen, we're going to do it like this, and then you're going to get to sue us in court, and everybody's going to walk away fine. Like, yeah, and we'll reach a settlement.
and we have to wonder, like, were there teams like already trying to negotiate a new
Yeah.
contract because of this? Like,
Yeah.
they've had a year
That's
to
one
do that.
thing-
Like,
That's one thing I never got from the story was like, did they like before they started going after them about this? Did Disney at least offer them a cut of the digital sales?
Probably.
I'm gonna say no.
Because I never got that from the story. To me, it always seemed like they were kind of like, well, our contract is we were going to give you a cut of the theatrical sales, but we didn't go theatrical, so too bad.
That sounds like
was
very
probably-
Disney.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was
I mean-
also maybe they did offer them a cut, but it was like, hey, you're supposed to get 1% of this. Why don't we give you 0.5% of this?
Yeah.
I
yeah,
guess
it's
there's,
a little-
there's a
it's a little,
lot of
you know.
stuff we don't know. I mean,
yeah, but
that's why it's
exactly.
speculating.
We don't know. We don't know what was written out. We don't know what's in the contracts. We don't know anything really. I think at this point we're just a bunch of fanboys speculating things based on what we've read from online articles, and we know how
clearly
reputable they can
experts
be.
in American civil lawsuits being
Yeah,
Canadians,
so-
right?
Yeah.
Am I right?
We can only like comment on what we've read
Yeah.
and what we've heard and what we know. But at the end of the day, we know bullshit about any of this. So anybody who's out there listening, take what we say with a grain of salt. We're just
No,
That's
one's
a
listening.
good life
We're all
lesson for
watching Eric
everything.
play with this right now.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You're too focused on your new
All right.
ghost gun there. So
All right, let's move on to the
Gun?
good news. And
It's a
this is very-
wand.
it's a rod, Mom. It's not a wand. The
It's
Back for
Leslie
Blood-
Jones's wand. Give it
The
back.
Back for Blood closed beta wrapped today at noon Pacific time,
God damn it.
and it sounds like it was actually quite successful. I actually, the executive producer of the game, I watch him on Twitch. He plays D&D with some cool people like Matt Colville, who's like my freaking hero. And someone, I don't know if they meant to do this, but in passing, they kind of mentioned that they had something like 100,000 concurrent players in the closed beta. So that's pretty good. That sounds like great numbers. If you're interested in Back for Blood, you can play the open beta starting noon Pacific on August 12th, which is this coming Friday. No, it's Thursday, isn't it?
Thursday.
It's Thursday. That will close August 16th, noon Pacific. August 16th being the Monday, the following Monday. So you've got Thursday at noon to Monday at noon. I won't be here for that though because I'm going camping.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm working the whole weekend.
I will be streaming it if I can. It ran beautifully.
I'll
like
be-
it was so
The
nice.
be on
game
Sunday.
is pretty well optimized. Like for a beta, it runs like there's bugs, but
I didn't get
it's a
any.
very good game.
I didn't
I
get no
didn't
bugs.
encounter any really either. There were some connectivity issues, like trying to join with friends. Then we realized, hey, we weren't friends on Steam, and then we were friends on Steam, and it worked fine. But they've made improvements during the beta, and I'm sure they'll have a lot more improvements for the open beta. They're probably going to get
That's
a ton
incredible.
more players. I'm really happy for them because I love Left 4 Dead, and this is kind of the spiritual successor.
And we all know
It's a-
Valve's not doing anything.
That's right. And Turtle Rock is just a great studio. Like it's from everything I hear, it's just like a great place to work. And everybody there seems really cool.
And we need more companies like that right now.
Yeah,
yeah.
we do.
Can I
especially-
interject one story for
Yeah.
news today before we continue on as well?
Yeah, this is an open forum.
So okay, cool. So we've discussed before. I had this conversation with Eric earlier this week, but like one of our favorite bands, Churches, is coming out with a new album on I believe it's the 21st,
I thought it was
27th this month.
I think
Yeah.
it's 27.
Churches has a new album coming out.
Yes, but no, the cool part of it, which is, I mean, other than the new album, because it's one of my favorite bands, they have 2 tracks on that album that they have just released remasters for. that they composed alongside John Carpenter.
Yep, and they're phenomenal.
You had my curiosity,
One of them is
but now
John
you
Carpenter
have my
remixed.
attention.
John Carpenter remixed one of their songs, and they remixed one of John Carpenter's.
Do they say
Ooh,
what
And you
song
can
they're
find
using?
both of them online.
Yeah,
Cool.
they're both on
All
Spotify.
right.
Go for it.
I don't have Spotify anymore. I have
Uh,
YouTube Music
It's on everything.
because I love John Carpenter's music.
You can. It's very influential
yeah.
through the one song. Yeah, like you can
just
hear
listen to
that
it on
kind of
YouTube.
noise, that sound in the background.
You can just find it on Church's YouTube channel.
Yeah,
So.
that makes sense.
Dope. Yeah, John Carpenter makes some slick tunes. I guess we're done for news. So we should probably
there was
get-
a new Witcher, Nightmare of the Wolf trailer that was released today, and it looks fucking awesome. I cannot wait.
Why haven't you sent me this trailer?
Oh, I
Yeah,
assumed
Eric,
everyone
fuck,
saw
You
it.
didn't share this anywhere. You didn't share this jack shit. I've been out watching Suicide Squad and ABX
I
or
was-
Box or whatever.
I was
I'm
busy
looking at it.
today.
Popcorn.
I'm so tired. But yeah, I'll send it out to everyone.
Yeah, I want to watch this. Yeah, check out.
Is there
Witcher.
any
I
word
love
on the
Witcher.
PS5 remake coming for it, or like they
enhanced
announced
version?
it last year, the remaster for the PS5, and I've been holding off on playing the game until that comes out.
You know, they're probably working out some cyberpunk shit right now.
Yeah,
Who knows?
Can we just
they got a
can we just
lot
give
of
up on that
crap to
one?
do.
I mean, I'm gonna stop wearing my cyberpunk shirt because I'm probably just never gonna play it at this point.
Ooh.
So, SF game, Haven Gaming wrote in. I just came in, but if you're talking about ScarJo, I don't think she got any money from the Disney Plus funds. That's shit.
Sounds like SF
that'd
Haven
be true.
Gaming knows just as much as we do.
I think
Eric,
they know
I just-
more than we do.
We're not sure either.
Sorry, was someone saying something?
Eric looks like he's tuning a guitar, but the guitar shoots neutrinos.
I could also
Alright,
tune a
it's
guitar if
one
I
of
wanted
those.
to.
Shut the
I-
fuck up. Let's get
I
into
need-
our non-spoiler reviews
I
of
need-
Suicide Squad. That's
I
why
need
we're here.
scissors. I need scissors. Why did they do this?
To make it hard for people to do podcasts and
Look at this fucking
This
thing.
is why,
Look
this
at
is what
that.
I'm gonna do. I'm gonna start doing a separate podcast on Mondays, and it's not gonna be the Geeks with the Kid podcast, but we'll put it out on the Geeks with Kids thing, and we can talk about whatever other bullshit we want, so that we stop clogging up Geeks with Kids when we're trying to do regular nerd shit.
Just go throw it back at her and say, "There's no scissors, no one."
I'm not gonna do that.
So, who wants to start with their non-spoiler review to
Yeah.
get people interested in seeing the Suicide Squad?
Fuck, I will give my two sentence review. No, one sentence review. Best DC Universe film.
Hands
Nice.
down.
Yeah.
Including cartoons?
Sorry, best
Oh.
DC Extended Universe, DCEU.
DC
Live action.
Cinematic
Oh,
Universe.
Yeah, DC Cinematic Universe. DC. I thought it was DCEU Extended Universe. Wait,
I don't know, man.
Whatever there's
DCCU?
the movies that started off with Man of Steel
It's-
moving forward.
It's the best
Yeah,
DC
yeah.
movie since Dark Knight.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll agree.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah, I'll go with that. Yeah, fair. I mean, you know, like I haven't even thought about it because, yeah, generally we've just been writing off all these movies. You know, some of them are fun. Oh, there it is.
DCEU. DC Entertainment
Yeah,
Universe.
Entertainment Universe.
Entertainment Universe. Fancy.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a good review.
That's pretty good for a one sentence review. It's nice. I like that.
I'm done.
Yeah, I
Anybody
mean,
else?
Is there
Anybody else have
anyone
a?
can say without spoiling anything though? Like,
That's the problem.
No,
I mean, that the trailers didn't already completely spoil.
Oh, I'm
like,
so
100
glad. I'm
so angry
glad to
about
watch
that.
those fucking trailers.
Yeah.
You guys, man, stop watching trailers. Don't do it. Don't do
I didn't
it.
know things were gonna happen in this movie, and then they happened. I was really happy with what the trailers I watched.
I started watching
happy.
trailers for all the things that I've watched after the fact, and I can't believe the bullshit that they gave out for Suicide Squad. Holy
Well,
crap!
remember
It
that it's a
was
different
bad.
company that makes this shit, right? They just get some parts of the film and they go,
Yeah,
let's make
but-
it exciting.
But what I'm
thing."
saying is, if you're gonna go see it anyway, don't watch a trailer. If you're on the fence, then watch a trailer, right? Like that's it's.
I
Not
was sorry.
worth it now.
Yeah. I'm gonna give another one sentence review because Brent said this when we first watched it. Because we watched it around the same time. He said it was the most James Gunn film ever.
James Gunnian movie.
Yeah, the
You think
most
it's
James
more
Gunnian.
James Gunn than Slither?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say this.
He was able
This
to
was
pack
the
in
first
more.
James Gunn movie that, like, to me, reminded me of Slither.
Yeah,
Like it was comparable to
especially the
tone
ending.
that
Slither had that like, okay, I'm James Gunn. You know, here it is, right? And
I'm James Gunn.
He
This is
showed
Jeff
himself,
Katz.
right?
Yeah.
But then this is the one where it was like, I'm James Gunn, and they're gonna let me do anything and give me tons of money to do it.
Yeah.
So
like
this is,
to me,
It's not
Slither
anything.
is
'cause
I'm
he
James
still had to
Gunn,
make a
this is what
Suicide
I-
Squad movie. Yeah.
and he did,
Slith-
and he did as well. So there you go. He's very talented.
Slither and Super were I'm James Gunn. This is what I'm capable of.
man.
Guardians was
Super.
I'm James Gunn, and this is what I can do when you throw a lot of money at me.
Yeah.
Suicide Squad is I'm James Gunn. Here's what happens when you throw a lot of money at me, and take the gloves off.
Excuse me,
Yeah.
sir. It's the
And like
Suicide
no
Squad.
restraints.
I think we're contractually obligated to say the Suicide
Yes,
Squad.
it's true. It is.
So
Sorry.
people
It is.
don't look up the wrong one.
I guess so.
Yeah, like that's gonna make a difference in the searches. But yes,
Oh,
the
man.
Suicide Squad 2021.
Yeah, you don't want to bring
Yeah.
up the 2016 one. We'll talk about that in a second.
Please
Maybe.
no.
Oh,
Maybe
let's not talk about it.
Oh,
'cause
we
it's
have
just-
to.
We're just gonna shit on it.
That
I know, but, like,
maybe
even
what
that-
we
even
can do
that-
is try to
compare
make
and contrast,
succinct-
right?
succinct.
gonna-
Yeah, we probably
I'll
won't go
say
into it too
one
much.
thing about that movie is that without that movie, we wouldn't have this movie.
It's fair enough.
Okay.
And
Yep.
my non-spoiler review is I think this is far better than Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Oh, two, yeah.
Well, I think it might be better than Guardians of the Galaxy 1.
Yeah, I see. I gotta compare. I'm not gonna disagree with
Comparable.
that outright. I need to watch that other one again.
I think this movie does a great job of just being a good movie.
Yep.
It's just a good movie. It doesn't matter if it's DC or whatever. It's just a good film. Period. That's my review. This is a good film, and you would, if you like action movies, if you like superheroes, if you like bad guys,
Yeah.
you're gonna like this movie. Simple as
It was
that.
a good movie. It was a great choice of which characters to put in it as well, because of the flexibility that he had with them. That with
Yeah.
a lot of them being very obscure and not well known, so he was able to do whatever he wanted with them, and that was amazing. Like,
I really enjoyed the fact that, like, at the beginning of the movie, I right away I'm just like, okay, who's gonna die, who's gonna survive, and you're kind of already doing the count of like, well, he's not gonna keep it, and they're gonna die, but I was surprised at who actually finished at the end there, like, or got close to the end.
Yeah, you got to play around with that. That you did a
But
good job with it.
but really, like, great casting, great characters. Like, I just loved, and I really loved the whole track that we took to get to that, like the path
Yeah.
that we took for everything.
I-
It's just really hard without like giving stuff
Yeah,
away.
yeah.
But I
That's
love.
why,
No,
because
no,
we'll
of course,
get deep.
Yeah, we're
with
gonna get into it.
spoilers.
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah,
get
yeah.
into it. I
Like, I'll
Oh,
say
go ahead.
I'm a Marvel stan way more than I am a DC stan. I've never really gotten into DC huge, but what I loved about this is a movie Marvel could not make.
fair
Yeah,
enough.
agreed.
Sure. Yeah.
There's no way that they would ever allow a movie like this to be made with any of their characters, regardless of how obscure they would.
We'll
not
see. We'll
allow
see
it.
what happens.
Deadpool, you think?
We'll see what happens with Deadpool 3. Yeah, we'll see whether they
Or
come
actually, it's
out
going to
on
be
that one.
X-Force. It's not going to be Deadpool 3. It should be X-Force.
Sure.
Which is probably going to be their answer to Suicide Squad. Let's put that
I
out
Oh my God,
I
yes.
don't know if I can state that this is the best movie or as positively as David did, but I will say it's an exceptionally entertaining movie. If you want an R-rated bloody good time, this is the
bloody.
best. This is the best for that. Maybe comparable to Deadpool 2. That's an excellent film too. But no, this is an excellent film. I don't know if it's better than Guardian because I think Guardian still has a fundamental story arc that is expressed a little bit better. But this one is off the wall, and it is a great time, and it nails the humor as well as the, you know, like it balances everything really well, and it's still a good comic book superhero movie at the same time. Like he didn't lose sight of what he was trying to do. So it's very good. It's very, very good. Yeah, I will definitely be watching it multiple times.
I think we could say that James Gunn has become a better director probably because of Guardians of the Galaxy, and that
Sure.
without that we wouldn't have a movie as solid as
Sure.
this one, right?
Yeah.
It gets me really
Like,
excited
I had
for
no idea-
for the next Guardians too. Like seeing
I had
this.
no idea that going back through his filmography that Guardians was only his third directing movie.
Really?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
wrote a lot of movies before.
Yeah,
He
wrote-
wrote and produced a lot, and like his influence was on a lot of them. But like it was Slither was his first, then Super, and then right into Guardians.
I suspect that's one of those things where Marvel was like, you know, this guy is a functional director. We know
Yeah.
he can direct movies, and we can get him to do, like, you know how Marvel's very like, I wouldn't say controlling, but they're very specific in the directors they want.
yeah.
So they can,
Yeah.
so Kevin Feige can create the vision he wants on screen that's consistent, and they got him young, and that's smart, right?
Yeah.
It worked out well for them.
And then they got rid of them, and Suicide Squad came up.
Yeah.
Well, that's
They'll be back.
I'm so happy that happened though. Like it's kind of weird to think about it. Like when you first heard about it, like this is bullshit, and you were kind of pissed off. But it led to this, and it was kind of
more
great.
bad jokes on Twitter,
complicated.
please.
It's complicated because that whole controversy with him was kind of bullshit, and the actual head of Disney wasn't there at the time. So the number 2 guy, who is reportedly not very fond of James Gunn, took the opportunity to fire him. And that's the reason why a lot of shit happened, but then a lot of people were very calm about it afterwards because they were like, oh, he's fired. So everybody knew that wasn't a real firing. But he had some free time. He had to disappear for a requisite amount of time while everything cooled off. And yeah, Warner Bros. Was like, you know what? We don't know what the fuck we're doing here. We're going to completely annihilate this movie by committee. This movie by committee bullshit we're going to do, and we're going to get a new head of film. And
is there any other corporation you want to take a shot at while we've got the opportunity?
Well, no. The point is Warner got their shit sorted, right?
Yeah.
And that's when they started doing things right. And I'm pretty sure she was the one who decided to hire Gunn at that moment. So a lot of the good DC stuff is because of her, and because they got rid of all that like whatever they were trying to do before, and now they're just focusing on making interesting films. So
hey, while we're at it, Taika, you want to come over and be in the movie too?
I did not realize he was in the movie at all.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You're not at the spoilers part yet.
Yeah,
He's
we're
in the main cast. I'm not spoiling what his character is, but he is listed in the main cast.
Yeah, if you go to IMDb, you can find out real quick that he's in the movie.
Listen, if you're not gonna watch, if you haven't watched Suicide Squad yet, and you're listening to this, maybe you.
Go take a moment. Come back. You can come back. Come back after.
Yeah.
Watch it. Go watch it and then watch it again.
Posters and everything all have his name listed, so I'm not counting that as a spoiler.
You don't have to watch the show live. You can watch it. You can listen and watch, on YouTube and things like that. So you can always.
But you should watch it live. Anyway. All right. Let's do this.
We're done with.
I think we're into the. Are we into the spoiler version now?
Well, it's so hard to talk about without. So yeah, unfortunately, I think we must move.
Unfortunately,
all right.
I'm excited.
So we're gonna jump into it just like the movie did. We're gonna do Act 1. Yeah. We're gonna talk about Act 1. And Act 1, I call Act 1. They're all bad guys. Yeah, because they are, right? That's the point of the Suicide Squad. They're bad guys. Amanda Waller's a bad guy, and they're gonna go fight other bad guys. That's right. Yeah. Everybody's a bad guy.
So good. So good.
And this act is bringing the team together. This act is. I mean, it opens. This is a really good opening. Let's be fair. Like
it's a brilliant opening.
It's
a James Gunn opening, yeah.
And he really does a good job, I think, like foreshadowing and setting up jokes. Like he doesn't just foreshadow the plot. He sets up some really good jokes that you could miss if you don't pay attention to this movie. And really good sight gags and things like that. Like really good parallels that come across that actually wrap up at the end of the act as we get into Act 2.
I love the fact of how he took the original movie. Like obviously, like we threw a lot of it out or disregard a lot of stuff from the original movie, but he took the premise from the original movie and just expected you coming into this one. You know what this is. You know who these guys are. You know what's happening here. So we don't need to reiterate it. Let's just get right into it.
Yeah.
Well, like I was saying in our chat,
the Savant character is to kind of like here's a quick synopsis of what you might have missed.
Yeah. Well, like I was saying in our chat earlier, that what this movie does is show that they're badasses right away. Like like Savant kills that bird like the first 30 seconds,
and not just like a what is it, like Bullseye or whatever, any other character. It's that you see him calculate the trajectory in his mind. It's not him just doing like, hey, I'm Colin Farrell and I can throw pin cushions at people and kill them or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's the fact that he bounces that ball around so that the bird doesn't react to that ball hitting it.
Exactly. Yeah. And then they do that sort of for most of them. Like even when they get to the beach, like they're all still badasses. We see Harley shoot a rocket launcher like it's one of her first things. And he's just like, holy shit, this is what I wanted in the first one. We knew they were badasses from seeing it. But in the first one, they spent the first half of the movie talking about it.
So much.
Oh my God, watching that extended version.
I will say
even
that
know-
my one big gripe with this movie though is, as entertaining as the whole opening act is,
Mhm.
I really felt like there was a little bit of James Gunn favoritism going on with some of the characters. How you see the actors who appear in all of his movies, Michael Rooker, Nathan Fillion, Sean Gunn, their characters all got a lot of extra attention that some of the other characters did. And I walked out of that scene going, I don't know who Blackguard is. I don't know anything about him. I don't know anything about
But to be fair,
But-
I don't know anything
Blackguard's
about Mongol.
Slipknot of this
And-
movie.
Yeah,
Let's
he
be
was Slipknot.
fair.
Yeah, but half of them were the Slipknots of the movie. And also, you have Captain Boomerang, who was such a standout from the first movie, get relegated to he's got 2 lines, done.
But to be
I love
fair,
that.
I
No,
felt like
I-
he
Yeah.
That was a nice
on
surprise,
the
though.
actors
Yeah,
he liked
it was such a
and
good
works
one.
on the others.
Yeah.
and we know he's gonna come back. He's a boomerang. Boomerang's come back.
No, he's fucking dead.
I don't know about
it
this
was a
time.
twitching arm. It was just a twitching arm left.
Look,
He's gonna be a robot.
I read the run of the comics that a lot of this older team is based on, and I mean I love Captain Boomerang because he is like a mainstay, you know. But no, he's dead, man. I mean,
Yeah.
and I have to say, I love Jai Courtney for that because I hate that actor, but that is his best
I
This is
I
his
feel he
fucking
was,
role, you know.
I feel like
And-
he was only brought back so they could kill one of the
Yeah.
characters from the original movie, and that's his
Yeah.
entire purpose. Which
They killed
sucks because
two.
he's such a standout from the first one.
They
Yeah,
killed
it's
2
true.
out of the 3.
Yeah, but okay, like
Okay, we're
like,
not there
again,
yet.
Yeah, but not till much later.
Yeah, why not?
I saw like the boomerang thing. Like I actually, as soon as I saw that first team, I'm like, okay. I remember like kind of just like doing the calculation, looking at it, I'm like, they're
Isn't
all
Idris
gonna
Elba
die.
supposed to be in this movie somewhere?
Like,
Wait a
Yeah,
minute.
yeah. Instantly, I was just like, okay, I feel like
Which one's
this
the
is just.
shark?
I just felt like right off the bat, it was for anybody who is kind of like, feeling that Game of Thrones suspense of it, like, like nobody's safe kind of thing. That was like the team where you're like, okay, I'm expecting everybody to die. Mongal, like I was just like, yeah, you're gonna die.
Yeah.
TDK, oh my god, I love TDK
Slap,
so
slap, slap,
much.
slap, slap,
So
slap.
much, and like just the fact that it's Nathan Fillion trying to like act all cool, sitting in the helicopter, and I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my god, you're gonna die, and it's gonna be
Your name is
spectacular.
letters.
Oh my god, I just,
All names are letter.
It is Dickhead.
I just
I'll be Captain
love
Boomerang.
yeah. Weasel. Fuck, I
Did
love
anyone check
Weasel.
Oh my
Weasel
God.
could swim?
Did anyone check if
Weasel.
Weasel could swim?
Weasel. I laughed both times. I laughed, like this is a movie that I've like, a lot of movies like you get the gag once and you don't laugh again.
Yeah.
I've laughed both times so far. I
I've
think I'll keep
rewatched.
laughing.
I just rewatched that part several times because I just loved it
It's so good, it's so good.
Rick Flag's
James
face
Gunn
when he's
really-
drowning is like,
Oh my god.
come on, guys.
Yeah.
And like Michael Rooker, like they start the movie with him being a badass. They talk about how he's a badass. He gets to the beach and
I
fucking
love
wets
that
himself
turn.
and runs away. I'm like, perfect.
Yeah.
Fucking
That was such a perfect turn.
Mm.
Yeah. So I
Yeah.
honestly, I like this first act was in my mind perfect. Like I wanted to see people die. I wanted to see like my favorites or the people that I expected to make it. Like as soon as I saw Captain Boomerang, I'm like, okay, you kind of want him to be there, but I just feel like we need that stab to the heart to make us feel like uneasy about our new team, because the new team, which again, like if I didn't see Idris Elba, I'm like, okay, well something's not right here. So there's going to be another team that I thought there was just going to be another team that they set up later or whatever.
Yeah, later.
But
yeah.
That's
But
how I
it's-
originally thought it was. It was.
But
this
as soon
team
as I
failed,
saw-
let's put a new one together.
Exactly. And as soon as I saw Boomerang, I was just like, oh, but then I was instantly like, oh no, he going to die, but it's going to be amazing. And I feel like it was kind of a shit death, but at the same time, an amazing death.
Yeah.
Like I felt like he deserved a more valiant death, but at the same time,
It was.
He
his
had
death
the
was
boomerang.
spectacular.
Pretty
Like Captain
brutal.
Boomerang death because that smile on his face right
Yeah.
before the helicopter.
Yeah.
The best acting he's
was
ever done.
perfect.
Yeah.
Better
It's
than
true.
Die Hard.
Yes.
I want to go to what's his name? Bloodsport, because I remember when they were talking about doing this film and they wanted to bring Deadshot back, right, with Will Smith, and then scheduling
course.
contacts happened, and they're like, well, we're gonna swap out the character, and then we get Bloodshot, who's pretty much the same character.
Bloodsport.
The same.
Bloodsport.
The same.
Bloodsport.
They were
Sorry.
interchangeable.
But with
But-
like James Gunn patented like nanite guns, I guess.
Also,
Like,
but like
that's cool.
I like that Deadshot had a good relationship with his daughter, and Bloodsport had a shitty relationship
opposite.
with
Bad
his
one.
daughter.
Yeah.
To me, I felt like that was where they went like, okay, this part was very clearly written for Will Smith
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
Deadshot,
Yeah.
like very clearly.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, how do we make it different? How do we make Idris Elba's character stand out? I got it. He hates his daughter. Done. And
Well,
it just seemed like it just
he-
seemed kind of
he
an
was-
easy fix.
But it does work for the film as well in that it does establish that these people are bad, right, on some
Yeah.
level, or
They're
are
flawed.
unhealthy, and they're flawed, exactly, and
Yeah.
so it gives them somewhere to go, right, and that was the
It
problem with the
does.
first movie. You know, there was all this like hand wringing and all this bullshit, and
I
Sorry,
will
go
say I think they did a much better job with Bloodsport's character than they did with Deadshot in the 1st
Mhm.
movie.
For sure.
Yeah.
I just felt like
because you
I felt like
open
they
up-
didn't do enough to differentiate them as separate entities, so that if they ever did bring Will Smith back into the fold,
Oh,
did they get rid of Idris, or do you have the two of them just
No.
basically play the
Yeah.
same character?
I don't
If-
think
if-
they'll do it. I don't think they'll bring Will Smith
Nah,
back.
they can fight each other.
That'd be
No,
amazing.
I
They
think
can
this is
hunt
a
Will Smith.
kind of a reboot in a way. I mean, it isn't, but I think they've washed their hands of the old movie, and like they've managed to create enough of a new sort of movement forward. They don't need to look back.
I would love
They
it
have
if
tried
Will
several
Smith was
times.
the
They've
bad
left the door
guy.
open for him to come back anytime.
Yeah. Yeah, Will Smith
they-
should be
they
the
want him
villain of the
back.
next one, right? Like, bring it all
That's
back.
what
That would be amazing.
This is something that I've been talking about for a couple years now. I'm so sick of seeing Will Smith as a hero. I'm fucking tired of it. Like, Will Smith has had his day. You know what? He was a great action hero in back in the day, or like even kind of like an anti-ish hero kind of thing. Like, he was always very good at saving the world and all that shit. But I'm fucking done with it. At this point, I'm tired of seeing Will Smith play the same thing. I need him to give me a full fucking 180. I would love Will Smith as a villain. I would love Will Smith as like a tortured, pissed off son of a bitch swearing the entire time. He'll probably never do it because he's always about, like putting on a good repertoire for his kids and stuff like that in the movies. But fuck, I would love to see him do something completely opposite from what he's normally doing, because honestly, I'm just tired of seeing him in everything we've ever seen him in. So when they were like, "Oh, he's not back for this Suicide Squad movie," I was like, "Thank fucking God!" I didn't want to see Deadshot. I did not want to see that version of Deadshot. I love Deadshot, not that one.
Mhm.
So I'm really, really glad. I mean, Idris Elba is pretty much just kind of a gussied different version of the same sort of character arc or character type, but
Well,
he
that
has.
There's
You need
something-
that,
yeah.
and also he did a better job of giving us that character and giving us a real version of that character, especially within the realm of the Suicide Squad.
What Idris did that so much better than what Will Smith did was he gave you a character to root for.
Right.
He gave you a character that you care about what's going to happen to him. You care about his story arc. You care about what he's going for.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
especially like the relationship between him and Ratcatcher as the
Yeah.
movie progressed. Like,
Yeah, that was pretty.
that
cool.
was an element that like the first movie never would have attempted to do.
If we could just also say like Ratcatcher or Ratcatcher 2, I should say, was quickly
Phenomenal.
becoming one of my favorite characters. She was incredible.
She was
Like,
amazing in the movie.
She did such an amazing performance. I think, in my opinion, best actor in the movie as far as like giving us the right character.
Yeah, she's very
You
good, but
I-
Polka Dot Man was perfect, man. Just
Oh no,
perfect.
Polka Dot Man was fantastic. But like Polka Dot Man, I didn't care about Polka Dot. Like it was.
Oh,
I
no,
did.
I did.
He was
No.
for
Oh my
laughing,
god,
man.
yeah.
When Ratcatcher 2 goes, I thought you were the crazy one, and he goes, I
Yeah.
am. Like, you're so worried.
But no, but
in
that's
that
the thing.
moment.
Okay, but Polka Dot Man, I was waiting for him to die. The entire movie, I'm just like, he's gonna die. When is it gonna happen? It was just like the way they introduce him, the way they show him, the way they kind of develop his little character from the beginning. I'm like, I know he's gonna die, but he's still holding on. Like we're at the end of the movie, and I'm like, shit. Is this guy gonna die or not? And then when he finally dies, I was like, "Oh, okay,
Spoilers.
vindication."
Yeah, he did that James
He
Gunn.
made it stand out of the movie. Like as I think everyone going in thinks King Shark is going to be like the like the new Groot, the new standout.
No, he's
Everyone's
the
gonna be-
Hulk. What are you talking about?
But I think that's what a lot of like people going, like average fans going into that movie are going to be thinking. But it was Pokemon Man is the one who like stole the movie for me. Like it was his character arc, especially like watching him be so detrimental at the beginning and so dead set on failure, to watch him go all the way to the end, and his last line of the movie was like, oh yes, like
We're
Yeah.
in spoiler territory. You can say.
Oh, when he did.
I know, but we haven't got to Act 3 yet. But
Yeah.
no, when he screams
okay,
out
okay.
like, I'm a superhero, and then gets killed. But I loved that arc for him, watching him go from like everything is bleak and horrible, my life is miserable, to like, oh my god, I'm doing something good. Like,
Yeah.
Steve, I have a question for you since you're a Suicide Squad fan from the comics,
Squatty.
as
call them
I am
squatties.
as well. A squad, yes, my bad. I loved.
What's a comic?
There's like a little tidbit, or not little tidbit, but little detail that they kept on calling King Shark Nanao, which you don't see in the comics. Nanaue, sorry.
Nanaue, yeah.
In the comics or in the animated movies, and them doing that in here just made it a little more special. What did you think of that as a fan of that character?
No, I think the movie was loaded with a lot of comic book heavy references without being distracting. So no, the thing is, King Shark originally was a Superboy villain, and that is just as stupid as that sentence sounds, And I mean, over the years, they've managed to make him into this sort of weird, goofy, strange character. Even in the more recent run of Suicide Squad, it's a very complex sort of monster. It's not a simple thing, So I like that they've managed to take this ridiculous idea of a shark-headed person and turn it into something that is actually now kind of funny, but there's some depth there, like they managed to capture a little bit, just like you said, just with even the naming.
I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they had King Shark not once but several times on the Flash, and he actually helps them fight Grodd. If I'm not mistaken.
He does.
No, he's showing up. No, he's been showing up over time. He's in the Harley cartoon show.
Yeah.
Oh, is he?
So yeah. No,
Is he,
he's becoming more relevant. It's really funny.
Was he the Hammerhead designed on the Flash? I feel like he was.
No, he wasn't Hammerhead.
No,
he wasn't Hammerhead. He was still like
a Spider-Man villain.
No, there is
Nice laugh.
the one from the Flash kind of looks just like a more jacked, muscular version of the kind of King Shark we kind of got. But they definitely made him like he's just big and buff up top and everything. It wasn't bad for TV, for a CW production and everything.
I like the
pretty
Flash
good.
generally.
I do. It's one of those shows that repeats itself over and over again. Like how often can you just keep fighting bad speedsters?
When you got to make 22 episodes about a guy who can run faster than light, you're like, well, what are we gonna do to him this time?
He gonna be sad about something.
Trap him in lead? Like
I feel like the Flash is a show where you can't like just stream back to back. You can't binge the entire thing because it'll just piss you off. You have to give yourself breaks.
Yep. But you know what? You can stream and watch all at the same time. Superman and Lois, which is a fucking awesome TV show. Everyone should watch it. It's the best DC show on TV.
What is this? What show?
Superman and Lois.
Yeah. The fuck is that?
It's so they took the Superman that they had in the Flash universe. Yeah. And they gave him his own TV show where it's him and Lois and their two boys. And it's so fucking good. It's so good.
So wait, okay, do I have to have watched Supergirl for this?
No. Nope. The good thing is that
I didn't watch any Supergirl.
No. So they started off, but it's how they had that Crisis of Infinite Earths thing, and then they sort of gave everyone an Earth.
I don't.
Oh, anyway, they did that last year on the Flash.
Good, actually.
And I feel like
the end of Arrow.
Yeah.
And then they turned it all into one universe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although it doesn't feel like Superman is part of their universe. Anyways, that doesn't matter. But anyway.
He's busy raising his kids.
Yeah, it's true. Anyway, back to King Shark. Amazing.
Yeah.
Listen,
King Shark.
There's something I want to talk about before we leave Act 1, and that is there's a great bit in this movie where after Bloodsport is in on the team, and we go and we meet Peacemaker, and Waller starts repeating the same fucking phrase, right?
Yep.
He goes, "Oh, he was raised as a boy, by his father to kill without remorse, blah 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 blah." And he goes, "Are you fucking serious? This is what you just said about me." And she's like, and he goes, "Whatever, like I do it, but I do it better."
I do it better.
I love it because this goes way beyond this scene because that's Deadshot, right? That's Colonel Rick Flag in some ways. Like we get this character in every movie, and we have 3 of those characters in this movie. But they point out how absurd it is here.
But smaller bullets.
The smaller bullets, Which
I
this is what
outright
I'm talking
cheered
about.
at the end of the movie because of that smaller bullet line at the beginning.
That's small. This is what I'm talking about. Like, I don't know if it's James Gunn's work or the screenwriters or whatever, but they did such a good job of these little tiny phrases that set up way later in the movie for like just that. Like, that's such a badass line that will, that like that's good. That's like those are like that's like Lethal Weapon, right?
Yeah.
Diplomatic immunity. It's just been revoked, right? that's the good shit right there, and that's Act 2. Which we might as well jump into now.
The only writer on
unless
this
you got
was
something
James
else.
Gunn, by the way. The only writer is James Gunn for this film.
Really?
Yeah, he was the sole writer. I also want to point out one cameo that happened in the first act, and that was of John Ostrander, who created the Suicide Squad. It was nice seeing him in the film, and I like that James Gunn actually brought him in to do this. Like that's properly done. Like they didn't do it in the first one, and he was like, I thought I would get a call, and he didn't. They got one for this one.
They did put his name on a building in the first one.
Yeah.
They had to go to the John Ostrander building for that elevator scene with all the gooey people. But anyway.
Oh God, that's the movie.
Let's just forget about it.
Let's just forget all about it.
Talking about.
I will also say is whoever, I guess it must have been James Gunn. I mean, he knew the comics because like that staff of people, even though they didn't really have names, were very recognizable to me. Like I don't remember the names of all those people.
He had a name. John.
But all three of them,
those
the
were
second in
characters
charge.
I watched that Screen Rant video that was suggested today, where they were going over like this character is this one from the comics, and this one is, and I love that attention to detail that he put into it.
Did you hear about? Sorry, in the prison scene when they go to the female section and they show Crazy Quilt. Have you heard about this character? This character showed up in one comic. It was created by 2 fans, and she gets killed immediately in the comic. But the fact that James Gunn pulled that out of obscurity to put in this movie, amazing.
James Gunn's probably the only director and / writer who would probably put Kite Man in a movie.
I would love to see Kite Man.
Yeah, Kite Man. Fuck yeah. Or he says hell yeah in the comics, I guess.
Yeah.
But I think after the Guardians movies, we can trust that like James Gunn is gonna put in that kind of stuff, right? We had all kinds of crazy, like we had Howard the Duck in the first Guardians, right? Because of him. Like he does whether or not he was a huge fan of the comics before, he does his research before going.
Well, he loves the comics. I mean, you can tell that he loves the source material on some level. To make fun of it, you have to actually love it. So yeah.
And it's sort of this reverence of making fun. It's not really making fun of it. It's sort of
it's
the source of it.
It's enjoying it. Yeah, it's enjoying it. Yeah, it's not mocking it. It's enjoying what's fun about it.
Yeah, exactly.
And celebrating that. Yeah. I so just to throw a couple comic book details out there. The Jotunheim, or was that what it was called? Jotunheim building was a very pivotal structure in the Ostrander run. It was actually the first mission after the team was created during another miniseries. But in the first issue, that's where they actually went. It was that exact building, and it was related to like a World War II version of the Suicide Squad and so on and so forth. So that was a nice little touch.
And the Nazis, obviously.
And the Nazis, yeah.
Well, that's why it's called Jotunheim.
Yeah, that's why it's got a German name. Although in the comics it was in a different country, but I mean that doesn't matter. And there was also
Corto Maltese is a huge like kind of Easter egg, right?
Yeah,
that's like it's like the maybe not the Madripoor, but it is the fictional island nation of DC, right?
Yeah, so they've managed to merge a couple things there, which is great because they're like paying attention to those. Again, it's fan service, but it's fun fan service, And then there was one very quick reference just to sort of prove my Suicide Squad street cred. At one point, Waller's playing golf, like with the cup, with the mug.
Yeah.
And she says, "Oh yeah, I got to get this down because I got to meet with Senator Cray." Senator Cray is a reference to an Ostrander plot that was, again, in the original run, where a senator discovered the secret of Task Force X, and he was doing quite poorly, and he basically blackmailed Waller into trying to get her to pull strings to help his campaign. Anyway, in the end, it went very poorly, and Deadshot went insane and killed him. Yeah. But anyway, I just thought that was like, again, this is like only people who read the first series would be like, oh yeah, Senator Cray, that was a big deal, So anyway, fun shit like that. Anyway,
Cool.
Let's go back to the movie.
That's awesome.
Forget the comic books.
So Act 1 is getting the team together, and that includes like rescuing the members from that have been stranded, which is basically just Rick Flag, from the botched raid at the
Best
beginning,
scene in the
right, where
movie.
we basically lose the entire team, and it is
Team
this
one, anyway.
magical competition between Peacemaker and Bloodsport,
Oh,
just
so
murdering
perfect.
innocent
So-
people. That
So
like, these
fucking funny.
very specifically, because Waller definitely knows these people are not hostiles.
Yeah.
She sends them because she doesn't give a shit, right? Because she also doesn't want them on that mission, which helps set us up for Act 2. Once they've rescued Flag, they're like, hey, you need to get in. You know how to get in. It's with Brainiac, or not Brainiac, sorry, the Thinker,
The Thinker.
played by former Doctor Who, Peter Capaldi, former Who Doctor, Peter Capaldi. But before they do that, they have to go rescue Harley Quinn.
Damn straight.
So this Act 2 is basically about the missing members and then getting the inn, which maybe is like, it's a fun part of the movie, but it's maybe not as fun. There's a little more work that has to be done. This is kind of like, I wouldn't say it's a slow movie. I wouldn't say it, but this, if it's gonna lull anywhere, I think it's in this section of the movie.
I didn't
Right?
think it really
But
lulled
it-
though. Like everything
it-
that
where
No,
the
but if there was a
team-
slow point, the middle
Yeah.
act is definitely that.
But it is like the heart. It's right. It's where you realize the heart of the team, right? Where
Yeah.
Ratcatcher, right at the end of Act 1, Ratcatcher and Nanawe, like, they're establishing a friendship. They're in the van, right? They're becoming a team at
Yeah.
this point, right?
Yeah.
Big
Even
mustache.
Peacemaker even has some seats. So like when they're talking in the bus, Peacemaker, you see a very small sign of respect between him and Bloodsport, as Bloodsport's telling his story about the way, his father treated him, and you see, like, oh yeah, same thing, right?
Mhm.
We grew up the same way. That's why we do what we do, because we're the same guy.
Yeah.
Except, as we'll learn, they're not the same guy at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? They
No,
have
no,
beers together. Flag and Bloodsport have this cool history, and it seems like we might continue on with the character of Flag. Maybe not his actual character, but his type of character
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
sport. If they want to continue making these movies, we're gonna, that's
Yeah.
because obviously, as we get to Act 3, we'll learn some terrible things happen to some people in this movie.
I think a great part of Act 2 was Harley Quinn's sequence with the president, because we'd seen her previously like get involved with these people of power Joker.
Yeah, sure.
From the
I genuinely thought it was a dream sequence at first. 'Cause
well,
I did not
she's a little
understand it.
crazy, which I like,
Well, that's sort of-
having
Right,
everything.
but
like,
he
did a good
literally falls in love with her.
It's more so like him accepting
Yeah.
her in as easily as he did. Like,
But
that seemed a little like something's a
explain
little
it.
off.
He's like, hey, no, you're anti-American establishment. Like, of course, very powerful criminals in the United States would be heroes to anti-American, anti-West countries around the world.
Yeah.
Of course, those people would seem more in line
Yeah.
with their goals. I guess.
Enamored. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just really love the fact that, like, it's kind of like this moment of like this is the president, we need to make sure that he doesn't overthrow and blah 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 blah, and like Harley Quinn's the one at ground zero, but her reasoning for killing him is like, you don't seem like the guy I should be dating, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Well,
have
he's
to
talking
Red
about-
flags.
yeah, like the red
It-
flag kind of. But I just
Specifically
love
to kids, right? When he mentions, he's
Yeah,
like, yeah,
when he
we'll kill
mentions-
kids.
Yeah, but like I just like the fact that like that's the catalyst that kind of drove her. Like in her mindset, it's not really the tens of millions of people that could die.
Yeah.
It's not the devastation to the world. It's none of that kind of shit. It's just like she's got her own, like a small bit of moral compass, and in a heart that she protects really dearly. But when as soon as she's got that kind of like, well, you don't seem like the kind of person I want to be part of, and then it's fucking psycho crazy gang bang bang kill, like amazing. Also,
I know,
on the note
it's brilliant.
of her dream sequencey kind of thing is like when she is finally like doing her escape and everything. I love the flowers and colors and like the cartoon and like all that shit coming through. Again, very James Gunny kind of stuff going on. But I just fucking loved it. I'm like, this is the coolest scene ever. Like,
Well,
it was just so good.
The thing about that when she kills Juarez too is I think that's something that's going to get misinterpreted by a lot of the audience, because I think a lot of people are going to be like, I knew Harley Quinn wasn't really bad. I knew she was just playing this up until no, she literally would have gone all the way with him if he hadn't said that one wrong thing. Like,
Yeah.
that's the beauty of her character.
Killing
She really
kids,
is nuts.
yeah.
Yeah.
It does show that she does have morality, though, because she does have
Yeah.
a line she won't cross, and we know.
Yes.
And that actually harkens back. I haven't seen it yet, but Birds of Prey, because she even mentioned she's like, "Hey, your ex-boyfriend kills your dogs and blah 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 blah." And
I was gonna.
She's growing. She's had 3 movies. She's growing through these movies.
I was gonna comment on that because having sat through the extended version, I mean, it was really for those of us who forced ourselves to just do that. Her character, you could really see the major difference, eh? Like she was very
between that one,
two-dimensional in that first movie, right?
Very two-dimensional.
Like the thumb of the Joker in that movie. Still,
right? Like, and that was the extent of her character. And of course, in all the years since that film, her character has undergone a revision in the comics and in the public eye as well. And I mean, it was drastic to see the original version and this version, and like that was something that was really cool. They did a really good job because I felt that this Harley was consistent with the Birds of Prey, and it was a nice way to sort of sum it up as well because Birds of Prey was very much focused, on like filling her in as a character. But in the first one, she was very shallow, in fact, So
I think that started with Injustice because we see multiple versions of Harley in Injustice, and one of those versions didn't have a Joker and started becoming basically a hero, right? She hangs out with Green Arrow and stuff like that.
I think the characters evolved quite nicely, like over time, like from when she became an anti-hero and they started to really think about like her relationship, and whether that really makes sense, in
and
today's
the popularity surge the character had.
Yeah.
Where they're like, oh, kids like this character. I think sort of the same with Deadpool, where it's like, we need to, I know, he's still a psychotic murderer, but maybe let's make him more of a good guy.
Yeah.
So that he's not like, just because Deadpool clearly just a villain to start, right? Harley just started as a villain.
Yeah.
And just doing whatever just a Joker henchman.
She was just a glorified.
But she did still have more depth in the animated series, like as the series went on. And if people listening to this haven't seen the Harley Quinn TV show that's on right now, it's wonderful.
Yeah.
Like
that's the one
just
to go
wonderful.
to. Yeah. That if you want more, if you want a little bit more of the Suicide Squad sort of feeling, check out that cartoon series. In fact, just go watch it. Do it.
I had a question regarding Act 2 as well, like before we move on from that. This was something, I don't know if it was just something that went over my head. I didn't get a reference but after Juarez dies and I can't remember the name of the new general who takes over.
Whatever, Generalissimo, whatever.
Sure. And they're all on the rooftop. They're all on the rooftop talking about what's going on. And then they set the birdcage on fire.
Yeah.
I feel like that was some kind of symbolism that maybe I missed. That you can explain.
He isn't. Actually, they went over in Screen Crush. He did a really good job of explaining. Because there is a lot of bird symbology in this movie, right? Where like bad guys kill birds. Basically, is the way to like.
And then the birds eat the bad guys.
And they're sort of like
case.
Like Ryan Aries says, they're sort of like cage birds, the Suicide Squad, right? Like the canaries in the cage. They have to go do a job. They might die, but they're there to do that job. But so burning those birds in the cage sort of also mirrors that.
I think it's also symbolic of the ruling style that the two generals would have. Whereas one, he's like, he'll keep the birds in a cage. Yeah, he's a romantic. Like he's gonna keep the birds in a cage, which is maybe fucked up. Keeping a wild animal caged, and the other guy's just like, I'm not even gonna keep it. I'll just burn it all, and whoever doesn't follow gets burned alive or whatever it's gonna be.
Yeah, it meant that there was a transition to a more ruthless regime. Because initially they weren't really quite sure how they were going to use the weapon, right? Mm-hmm. And that this general was a lot more like willing to like
just
show it off,
unleash it on the world.
Yeah. That was the first thing he said, right?
He was going to threaten it. Yeah,
he's
it was
like,
the first thing.
Let's just drop this super weapon on the states, and everyone else is like, maybe we should
rein that in,
threaten them first.
All right.
Did you guys before we go on did you check or see the cameo from I don't know her name, but Mantis.
Clementif.
Clementif. Yeah.
I just like that one. Like he just kind of hidden away in the back, and I was just like,
I did not catch that.
Yeah, she's the dancer.
In that club, though.
It's the gentleman's club.
She's the main dancer right in the front, and as soon as I saw her, I was like, oh damn.
I did that too. I was like,
I haven't seen many images of her like not as Mantis, so that's probably
she's gorgeous. She doesn't look like her regular self in that scene either. So
she does sort of.
I could still pick her out of a crowd easily.
No, Act 2 and on, it was all about Milton for me.
Oh, Milton.
I wanted to
Milton.
wear a Justice for Milton shirt today. Like I wanted to make that.
Yeah.
It was.
I was gonna order the Rick Flag
Three,
shirt.
but that's hands down my favorite part of the entire movie.
I like
going through the
Rick Flag.
IMDb. Steve G played the onset King Shark. I did not know that.
Yes, he did.
That's
there's
awesome.
there's a really cool shot of everybody on their Twitter or some kind of like Instagram or something like that, but they're all in like costume, like giving like a little selfie thumbs up, and he's in like the rig that they had with these two golf ball things up here. And it's hilarious to see him in the thing, and I'm just picturing him like walking around like King Shark. I picture him doing that, like the running along the fish tank scene and stuff like
for
that.
sure.
I'm picturing him doing all that. It's amazing.
I have a great image for you to envision then. When they were filming the Ed Norton Incredible Hulk movie, they were filming it a block away from where I worked for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I used to get to go outside for smoke breaks and that and watch the filming and everything. And the guys from the crew would come and have like lunch there and everything. And eventually we got to know some of them, and they would invite us to come out and check out and hang out on set. So I went on set after work one day, and it was right during one of the Hulk Abomination fights. And it was just these two guys with these giant coat hanger like apparatuses. Just it was the most awkward, hilarious thing ever.
That's awesome.
I didn't even know there was mocap in that scene.
Oh,
I thought
so
it was all
funny.
science.
it's probably just like more so just stand in so people's eyesight lines like look at the right thing.
It wasn't the actors at all. It was stunt guys standing in, but it was just funny watching the two apparatuses just like swing at each other.
Yeah.
Like this.
It's Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, where do we think Act 2 ends? Because Act 2 technically probably starts when they have to go rescue Harley.
I feel like Act 2 is when we get
when we get to Jotunheim.
Yes, I believe it's like pretty much at Jotunheim. That's Act 3. Like
considering how the timeline splits off in the two separate directions there, I think you have to start Act 3 from when they arrive at Jotunheim.
Yeah, because I think this is actually a 4-act movie.
Yeah, I kind of
think
a
normal movie would end at the end, like Jotunheim. That would be the conclusion. But this movie obviously goes beyond that into maybe the best part of the movie.
Right. What the actual fuck?
Yeah. It's fucking dope. So
let's turn this to a four act outline. I'm gonna change your document out here.
Well, I wrote that it was a 4-act thing. Because I think Act 3 starts with the 8 minutes ago.
Right.
Where we go back or essentially when Idris Elba Bloodsport lands and then they have their shootout.
That's Act 4, right? Act 4.
That's Act 4 start. That's the start of Act 4.
That's a really short Act 3 if that's where Act 3 starts.
Well, yeah, it is, right? Because not a ton happens.
I thought
they blow up a building.
No. Well, yeah, but they also discover the situation with Starro. Like they get the full sort of breadth of what's
story
actually going on with that,
of the thinker and doing his all of his experiments for 30 years, thinking. Well, okay.
We don't know what he does. We don't know what he learned over 30 years.
That's kind of the thing I was thinking. Like, was anybody else? I was disappointed with the lack of information that we were given about the thinker and about what he has been doing for 30 years.
Yeah.
And like such a prominent good actor, like gussied up with these fucking spark plugs in his head. Like you think to yourself, I'm like, why not give him a little bit more of a generous backstory, or give us a tease of something else, something he's got maybe going on somewhere else. Like give me something, but they kind of just let him just be a hostage, and then at the end he's like, yeah, I fucking did this.
Yeah, they didn't really show any of his powers, right? Which is sort of weird.
He didn't show powers.
He made a comment when Ratcatcher was talking about her device, right? And he was saying, "Oh, I've been working on something similar that will be working on humans, right?" Yeah. And that is actually what he does. In fact, in the comics, he was on a mission with Weasel, and he lost control of Weasel. And Weasel's the one who actually killed him in a Suicide Squad mission. But
he's not a child.
Well. Anyway, the point is, yeah, they didn't use his powers at all, and I was a little surprised by that too. I mean, especially because he looks so bizarre. I mean,
Yeah.
I think that's the one thing is there's a lot of villains in this movie. Like if you start to really count down, like there's a whole bunch of them, but really there's only one that matters, and you don't find out about it until Act 4 or whatever you want to call it.
There's
you know?
two that matter,
So
really, right? Peacemaker and Starro.
Sure. Yeah, no, Peacemaker's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean,
I still don't classify. I'm sorry, but I still don't classify Peacemaker as a villain in the sense of a villain. I still think
that's fair.
he's one of them. I still think he did what
story
he did
terms,
because
he's a
he was
dude or
bound by
antagonist.
a promise he made. He was bound by an
Yeah.
order given to him.
He's
and I think that's the difference.
Antagonist is all.
At the very end, that's the ultimate difference between him and Deadshot.
Sure.
Is we talk about their similarities the entire movie, but at the end of the day, it's one has a mind of his own, and the other is just too regimented.
This is why I think it's a 4-act story, because this movie ends if their duel ends differently, that's when the movie ends, right?
That's fair.
If Peacemaker kills Deadshot and kills
Bloodsport.
Ratcatcher, I'm sorry, Bloodsport. Yeah, that's the end of the movie, right? Because Peacemaker goes, job done. Peace has been,
Peace out.
Great island. Yeah, island's done. I'm headed home because I'm gonna follow orders. Like that's he's killed basically everyone.
Yeah.
And then he pieces out. That's why I think that's the start of Act 4 is when he loses, and that's when we have the next part. Even though Act 3 is kind of short, or maybe it's just setting up. I mean, because it
a lot of
turns
things
the story on its head, right?
It's short, the third act, but based on the structure. But there's a lot that happens in that small little thing. We lose Milton. We learn all about Starro. We learn about Peacemaker. Like that's
we
a
lose
lot.
Rick Flag.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
That was heartbreaking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Rick Flag was the one that actually probably upset me the most of the people who died. Like I was just like, oh shit, does that mean we have no Rick Flag? And that just kind of bummed
the
me
way
out.
he died too. Oh man.
It felt weird because you think he's probably the only good guy, right?
Yeah.
And
He
but
is.
even though he's just U.S. military, think Rick Flag, even Peacemaker calls him an American hero. Because as far as we know, Rick Flag's never done he's never committed any atrocities. He's not a bad, special forces guy. He's just a special forces guy.
That moment too, I think, helps set up the Peacemaker TV series as well, because you could see it in his eyes when he was killing him. I don't want to be doing this.
Yeah.
He has that look of regret as it's happening. I don't want to do this, but I have to because this is what I've been told to do.
He's saying that while he's fighting. He calls him a hero, and he's just he even kind of pleads with him to let this go, stop before it gets too far. And then of course, because he's bound by his orders, he ends up killing him or doing everything in his power to fulfill his orders and stuff.
And
but that's
Ratcatcher asked the question that everybody would ask in this situation. Well, why are you going to kill all of us and not just destroy the information? He goes, because I'm thorough.
Yeah.
I get the job done. I'm
this
gonna take care
is
of this from top to bottom.
And this is the only reason why a Peacemaker TV show can even be draw worthy. It's what is going to make people. It's the rules that he's bound by. It's the things that he conducts himself by. We're going to want to see those. We're going to want to hear about them more. We're going to want to see why he follows them and how he follows them. And then we're going to want to see him probably break them. We're going to probably want to see him start either turning or kind of creating new rules or doing something. That's what's going to make it compelling. But they did a good job of you hate him when he's trying to kill Rick Flag, and when he ultimately kills Rick Flag, then trying to kill Ratcatcher, you hate him. But you also kind of all the entire time sitting there going he's only doing what the moron thinks is right, and he's bound by this
I
logic.
hate him, but I understand him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is the best kind of villain, really.
Yeah, and at the end,
sure,
that post credit when you see him still alive, you couldn't help but just cheer a little bit because he's fucking back. I did.
I did not cheer.
I did not cheer, but I was happy that he was back.
I'm getting a little tired of everybody trying to Jamie Lannister everything, where it's everybody fucking forgets. That dude in the first scene he's in throws a fucking kid out a window.
Oh, I'm not saying he's a good guy, but I want to see him
they're
kill
like,
more people.
Well, the way he treats Brienne. No. He's always been true to his sister. Like he's a knight with honor.
Yeah, that's not
See,
good.
That
this is what-
motherfucker threw a kid
let's
out
get
a
away
window.
let's get away from bullshit stuff, right?
And like
get back to the good
Peacekeeper
stuff,
very
right?
specifically says, I don't care how many men,
Peacemaker.
women, and sorry, what did I say? Peacekeeper. How many men, women, and children I have to kill for free for peace.
Or how
There's
many
also
dicks
the-
he has to eat.
I don't care. I will watch
I'll eat every
dick on
single
this
one of those
island.
dicks.
I wanted to bring up Joel Kinnaman again, because
for sure.
I've always thought Jai Courtney is a total like poor man's Sam Worthington, which in and of itself is a funny sentence. And Joel Kinnaman is kind of
Sam Worthington, like a poor man's Jason Statham. Like,
exactly. I mean, you're already going like way down.
Jason
And I don't
Statham,
even
a poor man's like.
I don't even know where Joel Kinnaman fits, to be honest, because I like the guy, but he keeps getting these really like wooden roles. Like his RoboCop is just like, oh man, like I feel bad for him because he put on a lot of muscle for this role, and I'm glad he got to
He
play.
was fucking jacked in Altered Carbon.
Yeah, he's,
Well, I mean versus the original Suicide Squad.
Okay.
yeah, but he was on a space, like he's on a Apple TV show called For All Mankind, where he's an astronaut, so he has to be sort of fit.
Oh,
Anyways.
okay.
You know those
Well, I'm glad
jacked
he's kept it then.
astronauts.
No, but he has
But
to be fit, super fit.
I'm glad he
Well,
got to
he's also
play-
like always been a fit guy.
Yeah,
He's one
no,
of
that's
those
true.
actors.
That's true. Yeah, he's got a good look. Anyway, I'm glad he got to play this character to a much better degree in this movie because again, rewatching that first one, it was just like Mr. Sad Sack, man. Like that was like
Well, his
painful.
purpose in the first one was to get his girlfriend back, right?
Yeah,
and you're just like,
yeah.
That's not
Yeah,
Rick Flag.
he's-
Don't even remember.
No,
The
exactly.
sorceress, man. The sorceress was his girlfriend.
Oh, was it? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I didn't even
Enchantress.
remember that
Oh,
was the
okay.
storyline
Sorry,
that I rewatched.
I've been watching He-Man. Sorry.
It's fine. It's a better thing to watch. Anyway. So I'm really glad that he got to actually go out, with like a much better version of the character, and like
Yeah.
that James Gunn like managed to capture that, and also I wanted to add a little bit of comic book geekiness. That yellow T-shirt, though in the comics it doesn't have a bunny on it. That is actually his look, which is ridiculous. I don't know why anyone would wear like a yellow shirt, but they managed to get one on him in this movie, which I thought was a nice nod.
The bunny, I think it was Ryan Airy's video
Yeah,
where he
it's on
talks
Screen
about
Crush,
it was a big FU to Disney. Was it to Disney? I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because it's a
Mm.
bunny, from WWE.
I was gonna say Roger Rabbit.
Bugs
No,
Bunny?
It's a Bugs Bunny. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
with the cape, like Superman.
And it says something in Spanish that's like whatever, something about a mouse or something. I can't remember what, but
I remember.
yeah.
Nice.
But it's another
Nice.
little Easter egg.
I'll have to
yeah.
look into that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I really liked Rick Flag in this movie.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, I cared about the character.
Yeah.
Like it's actually maybe the only death you care about in this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know if it hits very hard, but you're definitely like, oh shit. And it's probably it's the most impactful death because there's a huge heel turn, right? Like just everything about that scene, and it's kind of a brutal death. Yeah, I think we were saying
Yeah.
that. And like you want to see more of Rick Flag after that. You're like, fuck, man. Like,
Yeah.
I was just really starting to like this character. Now it's like at the end of Endgame, I'm like, fuck, we're never gonna see Steve Rogers ever again. God damn it. Like I love Steve Rogers.
So the shirt says obstáculos son oportunidades, which means obstacles are opportunities.
Opportunities, right?
Oh,
So maybe he's insinuating like, hey, I got fired from Disney, but now I'm gonna make a fuck ton
Yeah.
of money for DC.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he did.
And Eric's
At least I
going
hope
to
he
play
does.
with a toy, I guess.
Eric
Seen
and
it.
his boys.
Yeah, I mean, it's it was good. It's just
Yeah.
like this is the ramping up, right? Like this
Well-
isn't you would think this is the denouement because the movie like so much is happening. Right? And
Yeah.
like this is the peak of the action, but it's not. That's still, 15, 20 minutes away.
I got to that point where like at the square off between Peacemaker and Bloodsport, and I'm like, okay, wait a minute, this is not the end. We haven't
Yeah.
even seen Starro yet. Like,
Yeah.
I'm looking, I'm like, oh my god, it's still like 40 minutes left.
You could have
Yeah.
James Gunn could have had Starro go, I have to go now, my planet needs me. And then
Yeah.
and it would have been probably great.
As long as
But-
it's one of those like the cell frame
cell,
coming
the
out
cell.
too.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. It just turning sideways left and right. Like it doesn't
Arrow
go straight
exploded
up.
on the way back to his home planet.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome.
I actually, at first, I thought, okay, maybe we're just going to get a sequel because I would
Yeah.
love to see them fighting through hordes of these zombie Starro creatures. But we don't,
Well,
kind of
no,
unfortunately. It would have been definitely better than Army of the Dead. But we don't.
Hey, man,
we
I
kind
like that movie.
Yeah, okay. That's your opinion,
I haven't
man.
seen
Hey,
it. I haven't seen it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm thoroughly waiting for the sequel.
Okay. Well, there's a TV show that's like a prequel, right?
Well, it's the prequel Army of Thieves coming out,
Yeah,
but then they're
yeah.
making an Army of Dead sequel as well.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't have anything. We kind of talked about that in a previous podcast, I think.
Yeah, I wasn't
Yeah.
there. I wasn't there for the counterpoint.
That's not my fault. I wasn't hosting
Yeah.
that one.
No.
Yeah, I thought like a zombie thing would have been cool, but we kind of gloss over that, and I don't know time-wise it makes sense.
Yeah.
But also Starro didn't seem he didn't seem threatened by the Suicide Squad at the time. So I
No.
guess it
No.
kind of also makes sense. That's one of
Yeah,
those things
but
where it could be a plot hole, might not be.
But
Yeah.
I mean, it could be, but at the same time, like maybe they just thought to themselves, like, do we want to do this same sort of thing again? Like it's like just like
fighting
in the
through
first Suicide
hordes.
Squad, we just had the hordes of slimy head creature things. Do we
Don't know
want to
what
see
those are,
that
don't
again?
remember.
Yeah, but like that's what I mean. Like we don't really want to see. I mean, I would have liked to see a little bit more from the Starro zombied people or something.
Mhm.
But at the same time, I was like, you know what? I'd rather them just focus on one problem,
Yeah.
and it kind of made for a better
The-
a better sequence. In
The
my
truth
opinion.
of it is too, Starro as a villain is pretty silly, and I mean that's kind of all he does is he just takes over people. Now obviously it's more of a problem when he takes over other superheroes, right? Like that's where it becomes more of a comic book worthy plot line, right?
It's a classic Justice League episode, I think,
Yeah.
where Superman gets a star on, and he's just in a coma. They're like, we just don't have Superman.
Yeah.
It's not even that he's
Well, I
taking over,
mean,
he's just-
all the Justice League like get hit by that thing, and I mean, and it just keeps showing up, right? But I mean, I think as a nod and as a sort of a last act, like okay, we just have a zombie apocalypse on our hands. I think it was a fun way to use it because I don't know if they'll ever really seriously use Starro again. Like that's
I hope
that's
not.
not really something you want as a main villain for anything, you know. So
That was the way I originally thought they were going to go with the last act because, like I said, how the trailers really spoiled a lot of the movie. So, like, I knew at the end of it that Rick Flag and Peacemaker, for whatever reason, were not in the last little bit of the movie. But I had assumed that once you saw like the face huggers and everything, and like the mind control, that I thought that's where they were going with it. That those two had become infected by it, and were now being taken over. And I was like kind of excited to see them like have to battle each other. And then now they just killed them.
Yeah.
So glad I did not see the trailers. So glad.
I didn't notice
Yeah,
that.
it really ruined everything. Like they really flat out tell you who lives and who dies through the whole movie.
Yeah.
You guys paid like you can watch trailers without paying too much attention,
No, not me. That's why I don't
No,
watch.
it's almost impossible in this movie. You can very clearly tell we watch one single trailer exactly what's going to
remember
happen.
watching a lot of stuff, and then I sat down and watched the movie, and I was like, I'm like one of the few times I've kind of just turned my brain off of expectations and just let the movie run.
They gave away that whole gag where they're all like up in the building, and then Harley's like, "What are you guys doing?" Like that's one of the funniest fucking scenes in the movie.
I didn't see that one.
Away.
Oh,
They
damn.
gave away
that was
the
in a
TV
trailer.
Oh.
They
Maybe
gave
I was
away
just
the
in a really
detachable kids
stressed
scene
place,
too.
but I don't
What?
remember it at all.
They
No, there's-
released the
Yeah.
detachable kids scene. Like they released
but
the
that-
scene in
Didn't
its
see
entirety,
that.
and I thankfully stopped watching it because I
But
was
that's,
like,
but that's
I've
not a
had
trailer.
enough. Like,
That wasn't a trailer. That was
no,
like
it was.
somebody.
They were showing like clips for like each character to give you like an idea of who they all were,
That's
and
a
that was
question I
TDK's. Was
have.
his entire sequence.
The detachable kid's arms were shot up, but we never see him get shot.
Oh
So
yeah,
in
we do.
theory-
Oh yes, you do.
okay.
Oh, does he?
Oh, you
Okay.
do. Oh yeah, there's
Oh,
like
yeah.
a slow motion
You-
him boom
you-
boom 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 getting.
If you want to double check, I noticed that the panel showing all the guys who are alive or dead was accurate because at the end of the movie, Peacemaker's light was not out. And so,
nice.
so if you go back through the movie, check the light panel, and you'll see whether he's actually dead or alive.
Okay.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah,
if-
yeah.
Was
okay,
Weasel's
this?
off?
I don't
That's
know
the
how
one
much.
I had to check. I have to go back and
Maybe
check to see whether
Weasel
his
was dead though.
Yeah.
If you were gonna do this, one that I actually picked up on watching it again today, Javelin's light. Javelin does not say deceased.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
What?
his
I was-
character. when they were panning over everybody,
Oh.
his does not say deceased.
Okay.
I would
okay.
love
That's
to
hilarious.
see Flula Borg come back in and be
Yeah.
like, "Where's my fucking
His
javelin?
accent's
That
Where's
was
my
like
fucking
the
javelin?"
weirdest casting to me, and I loved it so much.
Yeah.
I
Oh, I'm
love
so
Flula Borg.
happy.
He's so
I
fun.
was so
remember-
happy.
I can't
just love
remember
the fact
if
that
TDK's did or not as well, because when they pan over to TDK, he's still alive, but he's like coughing up blood.
Yeah.
So I think
That's
he was
the thing.
done,
You
but I
don't.
can't remember
you
if
don't
his said
know.
deceased. But Javelin's, I'm pretty certain, does not
That's
say that he was
hilarious.
deceased.
Javelin. I mean, that guy. Oh man, again, that's another random. I don't even know what his story is in the comics, but he showed up in a lot of Suicide Squad missions. You're like, who is this asshole? He's like totally gonna die, and he never died. I don't know. I think he was in the very
did
last
die
mission. I have to double check. He was like in at least 3 missions, and
I think he did die in a mission. I
have to
hearing
double
something
check
about
because
that.
I remember he was in like a really badass one at the end, and I don't know whether he survived that one or not. So anyway, so I don't know what else you want to say about the last act, though. I mean, it was.
I mean, we should talk about that final battle. It is cool. I think it's pretty cool. It allows characters to be the most themselves. They've kind of maybe not Harley Quinn, but the most themselves all movie where like Bloodsport. I don't know what to call him. Bloodshot's the Vin Diesel, right?
That's
what we need is a bronze tiger to show up in the Suicide Squad.
There we go.
Wasn't Bloodshot was the movie with? No, it's Which one's the one with Van Damme? Which one's with
Bloodsport? Yeah,
that's Bloodsport.
Bloodshot is the Vin Diesel one. All right,
which is a Valiant
just
comic.
keep thinking Van Damme,
Van
okay?
Damme movie and an Idris Elba character.
Yes.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
There we go.
Perfect.
Kumite.
That's right.
There you go.
That's right. He's and he just beats the shit out of him while blind.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
We get the real hero of this movie, a millennial. It's great.
Yeah. Well, there's also the very
millennial.
There's also the very pivotal moment of like, well, we don't have a Hulk, we have this giant shark man, so instead let's give him something. We're like, hey, num num, and then he just goes off like the Hulk. But I love the fact that it was I love that because it was clearly a like representation of the Hulk kind of go smash and everything. But his num like it looked like, oh shit, he's gonna fuck shit up, and then instantly just gets thrown through a building, and that's the fucking end of him. And I loved that. I was like, yes.
I mean, I like that they didn't kill him, that he's basically indestructible.
Yeah.
My question, given Harley Quinn's character, we discussed like earlier about like what she did with Horace and everything. If she hadn't in that moment suddenly realized what the javelin was for, do you think she would have joined them? Or do you think the only reason she joined them is because like, wait a minute, I know what this thing's for now. I got to go do it.
I still think she would have gone purely based on her character, the destruction of things that were going to happen. I think she would have liked the fight.
Does it concern? So this is going to be me doing the super deep, like, hey, wait a minute. If bullets don't go through Starro's cornea, why does a javelin?
Because of the magic.
Okay.
I don't know. I have to look up what that weapon is.
Is it a magic javelin? No, but is it?
Right.
I don't know, though.
I don't remember.
Javelin.
Marcus?
I think the javelin story is the javelin is like some kind of like alien technology.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah,
fair enough.
My take was that there's something special about the javelin because like the character Javelin has this thing and he's like only you're capable of using it. Like it's like he has to pass it down to somebody. It's like it's
like Starman's staff.
Yeah, like I feel like I don't know because I have no idea who the fuck Javelin is. Don't know anything about that character.
Nobody.
So
Harley Quinn was really proficient with that javelin when she was smoking people with it, right? Like
for sure. But that's also a thing. Like watching her fight with it. It's like, have you ever seen a real javelin in real life? They're fucking flimsy. Like you could fucking bend it. Like they're wiggly. They're
are you talking about like a competition javelin? Or are you talking about like a fucking Roman pilum? Like they're two different things.
I'm talking about high school javelins, like a fucking high school javelin.
Those are just for distance throwing. They're not for impaling aliens.
No, but
to be fair,
that's what I mean. Like she's using like some sort of like fighting staff that is being.
It's sort of like her hammer, though, right?
It's really just a spear. Let's be fair. It's just a spear. it's just called javelin because it's a cooler name.
Yes, but though? I mean. Yeah. But what I'm saying is like I don't know anything about it, but I'm willing to instantly, as an audience member, expect that there's something special about it. That there's something else that I don't know about this thing, and that's why it can go through Starro's fucking eye. I don't need to know
'Cause
anything else.
It goes right through.
I assumed
But
it was
here's
just
also-
super
here's-
sharp, right? It looks super
But-
sharp, man.
Yeah, Eric, I don't know if
Here-
you're aware, but bullets can be sharp.
Yeah,
Like,
but that,
there's armor-piercing bullets.
That's fair.
But with Harley going for the eye and everything, would it have been as effective if the rats weren't there? You know what I mean? Like
No,
the rats came
we
after,
have
didn't
of course
they?
not.
the rats are
rats
happening
are
at the same
on it.
time.
Oh yeah,
And that lines
And-
up her shot to run and dive
that's
through.
fair. Yeah, yeah.
But like if she say the rats weren't there and she just jumped into the cornea, she would have just drowned in there, and the thing would have been like, my fucking eye hurts.
Yeah.
Like just get on
But-
flash and shit.
She's one of the ones that could swim.
No. Apparently,
Nice.
javelin was a former German Olympic athlete who turned to a life of crime, and his javelin is just that. It's just a
It's
javelin.
just a normal javelin.
That is
Well-
the wrong
He
javelin.
was killed on it. He was killed on a mission.
Actually,
They invaded
Deadshot
the
killed him,
Myanmar
right?
military facility, and he was killed by being run over by a jeep.
Yeah, I remember that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Terrible.
So,
Okay,
but
so-
that
so
doesn't
it's just
necessarily
a-
explain, because it might be a magic javelin in this version.
And
right?
yeah, this
Let's
is
just say
yeah,
it's
that's
magic.
the comic book universe, so it's that's
Maybe
a
it's
different
forged
version.
from nth metal. We don't know.
Ooh.
Sure.
The hot man.
But like it seems like defeating Starro in this way seemed like almost like things really had to line up well for it to happen. You know, if Ratcatcher did accidentally get crushed or killed or something, like it never would have worked. And I just feel
Yeah.
like it's one of those kind of
superhero
things where it's like, yeah. But I don't care because honestly, I loved the ending, and I love watching millions of fucking rats like swarm on top of this giant alien starfish. It's amazing.
Did we
I'm not a fan
mention?
of rats, but
Yeah.
boy,
Did
that
we?
was okay.
I know we mentioned him earlier, but did we talk about Taika?
No,
Oh no, we
someone
we
said he's in
forgot-
it, and I think that's enough.
Yeah.
I think people
Yeah.
should enjoy it themselves.
But
Yeah,
it was a nice
And
like.
he wasn't in it the way that I originally heard he was in it too. I originally heard what his role was in the movie, and it was not what he was.
What did you hear? Out of curiosity.
I was originally told that he was the voice of Starro. He was
Oh.
not.
Oh.
Starro was
I
the
like-
voice of whoever happened.
heard
to
he
be
was-
I like
speaking
that.
for
I
him
like
at
the
time.
way they did
I
it.
heard he was the voice of the shark, actually, so it was sort of
Stallone.
funny to. Yeah, and
I
then
think Stallone was King Shark.
Yeah.
yeah.
Stallone's the voice of King Shark.
Perfect one. Hey,
Oh,
bird.
Yeah.
Big mustache.
good.
James Gunn knows how to hire those actors
It's
for their.
weird, right? Like how
I am
he got
Groot.
he got Stallone to be in this movie. Not a big deal because he says like maybe 5 to 12 lines, but he got him to play Starhawk in Guardians 2. Like he got him to
Yeah, fair.
physically be in a Marvel movie.
The his reading of when they're talking about friends and they're like, "Would you eat your friends?" and he goes, "No." You're like, "Yes." That's so fucking perfect.
Really good.
Perfect.
There's
No,
a lot
James
of really
Gunn
good gags. There's a lot of really good gags.
Amazing
Hungry.
performances out of everybody.
Right, the tidy whiteys, the clearly stuffed underwear that John Cena's wearing. Like,
Oh
we
my
covered
God.
so many things.
Oh,
The little
The
friend, like new
polka dot
friends,
man's
and
mother.
then clearly they're like, they're sucker fish that want to kill King Shark and eat him or whatever. There's
How we haven't discussed Polka Dot Man's mother.
oh, yes,
Oh my
yes,
amazing.
god.
when
wanted to
when
talk about
he
there.
meets, oh my god, when they're all
Who is-
like, we didn't see anybody out here. That's why you people did. And he goes, I turned them into my mother in my mind and killed them all.
Yeah.
Holy fuck!
And then you
Oh,
see
it's
her
so
later.
funny.
Oh my
Yeah.
god.
Okay. Who is that? Who is the actress or who
Yeah,
is
I
the
wanna
person
look
that
that
is? Because
She's phenomenal.
I honestly, it's
She's
one
in
of
this
those
movie a
things where
lot.
you because when he talks about his mother, you don't know what she looks like, and you don't really have a mental picture. But somehow, when she shows up, you're like, "That's her. That is 100% her." Like you
that
know
is
it's
someone's
her.
mom for sure.
Lynn Ash.
Perfectly cast.
I got as far as typing into Google who plays POL, and then it came
Yeah.
up.
Perfectly cast. Amazing. Bless
Like-
that actress.
Oh my god. Like, yeah.
her photo is so funny. She looks so cute.
She's so happy.
Hey,
Oh my goodness.
That's your mother.
Yeah.
Oh, the makeup on him when he was like all like polka dotty and like
Yeah.
Yeah, all
oh,
infected and stuff,
man,
and
that
he's
was so good.
That was horrible.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, his story about his mom being a Star Labs technician. Like everyone in this cast, like when they gave their backstories, I actually cared about it. Unlike the
Yeah.
last
Yeah.
Suicide Squad.
Unlike
pretty
the other
cool.
one. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like David Dastmalchian is going to be one of those actors. You love him in everything you see, but he's never going to get to be a lead, even though he probably could carry something. He's so good, right? He's been in everything. He was in The Dark Knight. He was like somebody posted a thing.
Well, they were saying
he's one of those. To me, he's like a Crispin Glover. Like, he's a Crispin Glover. He can lead movies, and there's movies out there that would offer him the lead in a second. But I think he's like understands that like he's better as like a character actor. Like he's better as a side piece.
He's gonna be Peter DeVries in Dune, and I'm like, could anybody play Peter DeVries better than the guy who also played Grima Wormtongue?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's really good. He's really good in this.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get a lot of time. Like, he even, he forms a bond with everybody else, too. Like, when like, oh, it's not contagious. You were experimented on by a kid by your own mother. And they're like, okay, now we get this guy. Now we get why he's so fucked up and depressed and all, And everybody's just kind of, like, nice to him after that. Poor Milton.
He doesn't seem like all the way through, he doesn't seem like a super bad guy. Like, he seems like
a bad guy at all.
No.
Yeah. They never actually explain why he's like locked up, aside from the fact that he's dangerous. Like they don't really explain because
I mean, like he does explain in the movie that he has to expel twice a day, so maybe he's locked up because it's like, well, we can't have someone like that do that twice a day.
And he does have a power dampener, so maybe that's something that helps.
So that was probably blocking.
Right, like he doesn't, because when he's like, oh god, we're all gonna die, and he goes, I hope so. Like he's done with it all.
Yeah.
He's such a good arc.
He played Abracadabra on The Flash.
Yeah.
Okay. On The Flash, on the TV show Flash, was the Thinker ever there? Like, was he on the show?
I don't recall him being on there. But...
He is a Flash villain, so
I wasn't sure if they ever used him on the show or not, because I feel like I saw
he's too smart for all those characters.
Oh, they had Clifford DeVoe as one of the main villains. Yeah, so the Thinker was on there. He was the main villain of like the 3rd season or 4th season.
I think I stopped watching.
So he was there. He was there.
Yeah.
Okay.
He had like an X-Men, like a Professor X floating wheelchair thing. It was a weird.
Oh, shit, that was their version of okay, I remember now.
Yeah.
I feel like they built him up and then they let it fall really flat.
Like the Flash does often, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Nice, very good, succinct.
Which is sad. Like
accurate.
I like most of the actors on that show, and like they don't know what to do with the characters anymore.
Yeah, they have no idea. They've lost all track.
They're like,
of
okay, well we had
anymore.
we had Ibn Thawne. Now we don't know what else to do. Okay, well now we have Zoom. Now we have God Flash,
whatever, the Speedster God, whatever.
Speed God or Godspeed, I don't know, whatever.
Godspeed, that's the one.
Godspeed, yeah. It was just like, okay, you guys are just really.
Godspell.
God.
Yeah,
prepare.
It was just getting...
Sorry, it's my little Sean Connery from the Rock rant.
Losers always whine about their best.
Winners go home and fuck the prom queen.
He's got a gun, sir. What do you have, a fucking water pistol?
I like, go do this closing thing. I like that. Whoa.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, we should. I mean, we've been talking for almost 2 hours. This has been actually a really long podcast.
But it's been a good one.
Yeah, I think we all.
I hear something.
We all. Steve. It's Steve.
Steve.
Damn it.
We almost made it all the way through,
It
Steve.
wouldn't be a podcast unless Steve started picking up radio signals. Well, on that note, let's close it out. I think people might be thinking that Marvel Suicide Squad might be Thunderbolts, right? You might think, oh, well, Marvel's going to do something similar. Thunderbolts is a natural choice, or maybe Dark Avengers, which they're clearly setting up.
Well, they better hire James Gunn to do that too. Because...
I don't think Marvel is in the business of competing with DC. Though.
I don't think they've got.
It's printing money.
They shouldn't. They shouldn't do what DC was trying to do, which was try to race Marvel and copy them, and then they fucked it all up, right? DC's finally just doing their own thing. Marvel should just keep doing what they're doing. Exactly.
We're gonna see. I think in the end, we're gonna see 3 things that we're gonna be able to compare to Suicide Squad, and it's gonna be Thunderbolts, it's gonna be Dark Avengers, and it's gonna be when X-Force comes out. I think X-Force is probably gonna be the closest thing to it.
I don't know if anything's gonna capture the tone of Suicide Squad. Like,
no. Marvel's gonna do their Marvel thing for sure, right? I don't think...
Marvel Yeah, they won't allow it to get as crazy as Suicide Squad can get. Like, there's no way they won't touch that. X-Force again, probably the closest that we'll get, but I don't think I still feel like we're not going to get.
We'll see. Deadpool 2 was pretty fucked up. I mean, like, it didn't go
That wasn't
Starro
Disney,
fucked
though.
up. But
Yeah, but that
I know.
MCU.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, we'll see what the continuity is going to be. Yeah, like I understand what you guys are saying, but I mean, it's hard to say how they're going to balance it, right? Yeah. Like, so. Yeah. Anyway,
we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Well,
we'll see.
with that, if you haven't seen Suicide, if you haven't seen the Suicide Squad by now, fucking go watch it. Go watch. It's really good. If you can, if you're vaccinated, and you know it's safe to do so, go see it in theaters, because I saw it in theaters today. It is phenomenal in theaters.
Yeah.
It is absolutely a great movie to see in theaters. And if you can see that, maybe go see The Green Knight, because that's what I'm hoping to see.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see it this week.
Not to shill for corporations, but have we heard about the Silver City Pass that's coming out?
What? What is this?
They have announced that they are going to be doing a monthly pass for $10.
$10?
You get a free ticket to any movie for like each month that you pay, as well as discounts on like movie tickets, concessions, and everything.
That would pay for
their
for me
effort
in
to try and
2
get people to
months.
come back to theaters again.
Yeah, I'll do that. There were only 8 people in the theater today.
I'll do that until they
LGR
close theaters again.
Hail to our Amazon and Silver City corporate overlords. And good night.
Listen, if Cineplex wants to contact me, I love the movie. It's one of my favorite things to do is go to the movies. I'll pay even. Listen, if there's only 8 people in the theaters, I'll pay extra. Okay?
Fair enough.
There's less people there.
And Eric is already playing with his toy.
Wait a minute.
We're not off yet, Eric.
No, that's why. That's the reason.
No. Shut up. He's going to make the noise and we're going to end the show.
No, I can't because there's no batteries. In there.
Batteries. All right.
Fudge, no stickers.
Yeah.
But look at this fucking thing. Look at it.
Eric, you have to end the stream. We
This
don't
is fucking
control
awesome.
this here.
Oh, all right. Well, thank you guys for
You have
coming.
to end the stream. Don't cross the stream, but you end the stream.
Fair.
You know, and don't forget,
streams either.
D&D's back tomorrow night, so come back
D&D.
right here, 9:30, same time as the podcast, and we'll be playing D. Steve will be here, Eric will be here, Marcus and Brent won't, because they're not cool.
But Wednesday we're gonna do
Wednesday for what if?
What if we're gonna do Wednesday? What if? I think we're gonna our next episode of this. We're gonna do that reboot idea. Like we're gonna pitch ideas for what our reboot of our childhood stuff is gonna.
Yeah.
Look
I'm
like.
gonna reboot.
Reboot.
They already did that, and it was terrible.
Bad, yeah.
Fucking
But
terrible.
I'm gonna do it right this time.
We'll talk about it next time. Thank you guys for coming and watching. We shall see you soon. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Steve, Eric, Brent, Marcus,
Bye.
me, Dave.
Bye. Well, that's it for us this week on Geeks with Kids. If you want to get a hold of us, you can send us an email at podcast@geekswithkids.ca. And don't forget to like us on Facebook at facebook.com/geekswithkids. Follow us on Twitter at geekswithkidscn. Check out our pics on Instagram at geekswithkids. And you can find all of this good stuff on our website at www.geekswithkids.ca. So if you like what you hear, why don't you hit that subscribe button and leave us a comment. This podcast can be found on iTunes, Spotify, Google Play, Stitcher, YouTube, and your favorite podcasting app. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you next time.